it means to have a revival. A revival is a spark of creation. That is what the Haitian spirit is calling us to. And so we're asking you and welcome you down this path in the spirit of Wakaima, in the spirit of Kumbit. We are welcoming you into this space. And so, as one of our opening rituals, we are asking that you share your name, share your parents' surname, and where your family roots are planted, whether in Ayiti or anywhere across the globe. We want to be able to, maybe you have family in the room, and see how we're connected to one another. You might find a cousin, right, in the room. And so part of what the Ma'afa, which is the African Holocaust in a sense, where we lost a lot of our spiritual systems, our roots and our connections, and our families were ripped apart. By us doing this exercise, we are able to see how we are connected again. So please take this time to share in the chat where your name, your parents' name, and where your family roots are in Haiti or in the world. And as you do that, we are going to play some drums to open the way, to welcome in our ancestors to join us. Because when we name them, they join us, they celebrate with us, and we want them here with us because we are the embodiment of them here in the flesh. And so at this moment, I'm going to play a little bit of drums. And if you feel, after you've written your name, shared with us your roots, if you feel compelled to move your body, if you compelled to move, we invite you to do so at this time. All right.
Alisa, do you hear sound? Matande tambour yo no? Sige tambour matande no?
You don't hear a sound?
No.
We're not hearing this sound.
All right, 1 second.
No problem. While we get those drums going, Amber, can you see if Marlene and Berwick are still in the breakout room?
So while we're waiting for the drums, I'll share where my parents are from. And my dad is from Okap, but everybody says Okap, but he's really not from Okap. I don't know if that even makes sense. Where is he from? He's from Pomago. Is it Pomago? Is Pomago a little further down from Okap? Is that what it is?
I want to know.
It's in Cap Haitien. So it's, yeah.
Right? It's for, okay, so he's there. That's where he's from. He's from the Underhill, though.
Yeah, so he's from Okap. He's from Cap Haitien, but the city of Pomago. My mom is from Limbe.
Thank you.
Cap Haitien.
There we go, right? And my mom is from Mumla. I've never been there. I can't wait to go there and check out, the environment. I heard it's a really beautiful city, but I haven't had a chance to go there. I think it's about maybe a couple hours away from Okap as well. And so let me know who's from Mumlat, who's from Okap, Pomago, Port-au-Prince.
Play Okap la. I'm from Capo.
North, South. You said Okap, where else?
Jérémy, Inch, Mbé, Logan, Port-au-Prince.
I see T. Rivière. I love it.
My mother's side is from Benin near Jacmel, so her maiden name is Edouard de Feo.
Plateau Central. Like some of these places, I'm only discovering by what you guys are saying right now. So it's exciting to put names and faces and places together. Of course, I heard of La Tibonite, St. Louis.
I have no cousins here, no bloods is here.
Alisa, we're still not hearing the music.
Oh, I hear it.
You hear it?
Yeah, I hear it too.
Oh, I don't hear it. Okay.
Yeah, please continue to share. And we hope, one of the things we hope to do at the end of this session
me.
is to share with everyone, you know, a little map of everyone who was here at this first revival session and where we are across Haiti and across the world. So please share where you are from, where your parents' name, because it'll be a beautiful map for us to show how we're connected to Ayiti and how we're connected to each other. So Lembe, if somebody said Lembe, my mother's side is from Lembe, and my father's side is from Kreyòl. That's where my family's from.
Very nice.
Jacques Mel is in the south, right?
We.
Yes.
I have to go there.
Southeast. Yep.
The
Southeast,
South
beautiful.
is calling me. I want to go to the South.
Yes, I see a lot of Jacques Mel in here.
Oh, we're going. If that direct flight come happen, I'm going.
Lembe, Kinskoff, okay.
Estelle, how are you?
Dr. G, bonjour.
Lakay is in the house.
Hey, Lakay in the house. All right. We're coming up towards the end. Please, again, share your name, put it in the chat, because we'd love to create this map for you, a gift for after to show how we're all connected and where we are on Haiti. Coming up towards the end. Just a few more seconds.
Yeah, mun Lakay, Dr. Sophia ula Lakay. Bale de sam. Bale de sam.
Okay. Ooh, is there an echo for me?
No, you're good.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much for participating in our welcoming ritual. Again, like I said, we'd hope to give you a gift at the end of this for you to see where everyone who's actually on this call is from in Haiti, their roots or around the world in Haiti. So we're so grateful. So we're at the part of it's our revival. What is a revived Haitian? What is the revolution of the Haitian spirit? And if you are just joining us, we just spoke briefly about the word revolution, right? And how there's more to one meaning of that. When we thought of putting this together to invite everyone here, it's about that turning. It's that turning point, that time where we're like, it's time, right? It's time. It's time for us to learn. It's time for us to heal. And it is time for us to go back home. And so this moment right now is your time to be present, right? To be engaged, to not only just hear what you hear on the news about what's going on in IT, but for you to have your own firsthand experience of what it means to be engaged, right? As a diaspora in this turning point, in this revolution of, and the spark that we're bringing together as a people, as a new generation, learning from the past, seeing what has happened, seeing this generational trauma and pain, and taking the time to grieve, right? Taking the time to process and to heal our hearts, and taking that time to go actually learn and go back home. So thank you, and again, and welcome to the revolution of the Haitian spirit. So right now we are going to do an alignment activity. It'll be a way for us to really kind of ground ourselves. I invite you that if you do have a candle, and if you do have any of your spiritual tools, to use them at this moment. We are going to use our breath, and we are going to use our consciousness to relax and put ourselves in a state where we can be receptive to what is going to be shared today. And so I light a candle in honor of my ancestors, in honor of the people who did what they did, and lived the lives that they lived so that I could be here. And I hope that you would do the same, and offer them water, and offer them a place seated right here with us to join us in this hand, heart, and feet. And so imagine with me, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Be in this exact moment. If there is a thought that is in your mind right now that isn't causing you to feel relaxed, I invite you to blow it out like a bubble and watch it float away so that you can stay right here in this moment. Take another deep breath. Send your consciousness to your head. Thank your head. Thank your head for the decision for you to be here. Thank your head for all the things that you've experienced in your life, and relax. And now think of water pouring over you and just relax. Then I'd love for you to send your attention to your heart. And if you feel inclined, please put your hands on your heart. Take in a deep breath and allow that feeling that you had, that feeling of thanksgiving from your head, to move into your heart space. There's pain there. There's grief there. Our people have gone through a lot and are still going through a lot. But one of the ways that we can help them is by first healing our wounds, by first acknowledging that they are there and having the mind of forgiveness, having the spirit of love to give to ourselves first, so that once we give it to ourselves, we can give it to others. Take a deep breath. And I ask you to move your consciousness down, down, all the way down to your feet. You can even wiggle your toes. Bring your attention down to your feet. Connect yourself, ground yourself. Take a deep breath. Many of us, we left when we were children. Many of us have never been. Many of us are longing to go back, to put our feet on that field. Right now is the time for you to connect yourself to the ground, to the memory, to the roots. Take another deep breath. So as we connect our heads, our hearts, and our feet, as we align ourselves in this moment and we're present in this moment, may the spirit of our ancestors be with us. May the spirit of the revolution be with us. May the spirit of a revival be with us. Ayiti.
Ay, Bobo, merci.
Thank you so much for participating in our head, heart, and feet alignment exercise. I hope that in this moment that you feel calm, that you feel relaxed, that you feel ready. And so we're going to open it up just for 2 testimonies. One, you can raise your hand and let us know and unmute. But we want to know what has brought you here and what do you hope and intend to receive during this session. So right now it's time for témoignage, for testimony. And if you have one, feel free to raise your hand or unmute and share.
I'll start. For me, this is a magical space. I believe that where 2 or 3 are gathered, the good book said. But this is different for me because I've always longed for a community where we as a people can just gather. You know, I love when we gather. There's something special about when 2 or 3 Haitians are gathered. It's almost magical because we feel each other, we feed off each other, we feed each other. and, you know, to gather for a specific purpose with a specific intention, it's powerful. You know, so for me, this is a space where my heart is being filled. I'm overwhelmed with joy, and it's going to carry over. This for me is like going back to Haiti, because I'm here with my family. I'm here with my peoples, and so this is an experience for me, you know, to be here with you guys this morning. So purpose for me is to feel and connect and to give and to build with you all today. So thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, let's put some hearts in the chat. I
Thank
see
you.
Shirley's hand is up. Shirley, please feel free to unmic.
Great morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
We
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, you know, I definitely want to echo Matt's sentiments of what he said. You know, it definitely feels like a union of family from all across the globe, all across the region, the different parts of Haiti. For me, your first question that you asked as far as why am I here is because just wanting to have that deeper connection, you know, with my roots. I actually, as you know, connected very hard with Haitian preservation. And I kind of just wanted to be a support, to be honest, in the very beginning. But as I joined the music, the drums, the exercise, I was like, oh, ça bon, you know? And while you're in the midst of doing work and you're working, you, you know, forget to pause and have that moment to connect, to have that clarity, to just really release. Because that my show, avec un pile bagay ko diya, you as you already know. And even doing the exercise with you know, the head, the heart, and the feet, it was hard. But when you said to kind of blow it out, I was blowing it out because you already know what was in my head. But I was able to envision my mom and me as a little girl and just having her talk to me. And then I've never transferred my subconscious or my higher self to my feet. So I didn't touch my heart because I was holding my head and just doing my best to transfer that image, that journey. And it was like a roller coaster ride, like sliding through a water slide. And we slid all the way down to my feet. I have never experienced that before. I never had that moment. And it was just beautiful. And I just thank you for that. I fin pale become bavle get sensitive.
No, thank
safe
you. Thank you so
space.
much for sharing. That was very, very sweet. That was very, very sweet. So now at this moment, we are going to give you just a brief overview of what this day, of what this session is. This part one, because it's actually two parts. So today is our gathering where we come together in Rasanbleman. And part two is going to be on the date August 14th. So we'll make sure that you have that information so you can sign up for that. But part one and part two, today's part one. We are going to talk a little bit about the history of Haitian preservation, how it's come to be. We're also going to be sharing about the importance of our language, right? And stories of what it means to speak our mother tongue. We have to acknowledge that that's one of the first ways, because English is not it. And many of us are learning that we have to always constantly shift our words. When the Kreyòl, you know, it's the words, they mean what they mean. And we have to use them. And so we have to learn, we have to go back, and we have to and use our mother tongue. And then we are going to be having our Mache, the place where we'll have a room where you can just relax, right? If you want to just take a break and relax, we'll have a room for that. But we'll also have some amazing people. We have connected with people who have a vision for Ayiti, and they want to share that vision. And so in our marketplace, you'll have an opportunity to connect with these individuals who have made it their life's passion and journey to support our people. And so that is going to happen at 11:30. And then after that, we're going to have a presentation about a journey to Ayiti. What does it mean, and what does it feel like to go back home? And lastly, we will bring it all together with spirit, the Haitian spirit revived, and how to spark the Haitian revolution in us today. And so that is an overview of our time. We're doing really good on time. Thank you guys for everyone showing up. We're doing really good on time, and we hope to keep it. So Renee, I'm going to ask you to hold your question just for a moment, and we'll continue on so that we can move on with the program. But thank you so much. All right, so right now we're going to offer a reflection moment. It's going to be about 2 or 3 minutes for you to take out your journal and for you to write down. It is very important. You know, like you said, the good book says, write the vision, make it plain. Whenever you have something that is on your heart, it is important to write it down. So we're going to take these next few moments. I'm going to play a little clip from the anthem of Haitian preservation. It's a song that I wrote. That spirit woke me up in the middle of the night. And I wrote this song and I sung it with my daughters. So we're going to play that song for you. And as we play it and you watch the sunrise, we invite you to write down in this moment these reflection questions. What do you hope to receive during these sessions today? And what does revival mean to you?
Well, everyone, our next session is with Lisa, Dr. Jean. She's going to tell us about the history of Haitian preservation. And again, like she mentioned earlier, this is not something new. Her and Matt started this amazing thing years ago, and now we have this opportunity to bring together and form a strategic partnership with Ayiti Community Trust. If you don't know already, Ayiti Community Trust is the first Haitian-led organization, community foundation that's establishing a $20 million endowment to support sustainable development in Haiti beyond the capital in all of the sections communal. So Dr. Lisa Jean is our first executive director, and it's been a pleasure working with her. She has transformed this organization, and at this moment we'll have her go over the strategy behind HP and the love that her and Matt put into it, and how we're moving with it forward to set this $20 million endowment that is very much attainable. So without further ado, Dr. Lisa Jean, tell us the Istwa.
Merci, merci. Thank you so much, Dr. Bliss. It is my honor to share with you the story, to be your first storyteller in today's session. Thank you for participating in the head, heart, and feet alignment. And you're going to come to see that that's essentially what we're about. We're about this alignment between ourselves so that we can support Haiti as healthy beings, right? We can see and hold a vision for Haiti right now that is possible, that Ayiti is possible. So one of my favorite things in the world are trees. Like, I absolutely love trees, and there are many reasons why I do, but for one of the reasons why I love trees is because they hold the memories, right? Trees are living, they have spirit, and they hold the memories in their roots, and they're connected all over the world. Trees from everywhere are actually connected through their roots. And trees are a symbolic symbol for me, because even growing up, I used to draw them all the time. And so one of my favorite things to do used to be to sit under a tree and to just feel that breeze, to feel like I was connected to something bigger than myself. So when I think of Haiti, when I think of my story and my journey, the tree, the wind, the breeze, nature grounds me and calls me home to that. And so this is my big, beautiful Haitian family. My husband and I have 7 beautiful children together. We have our oldest daughter, she's 13. We had triplets. And they are 12. And then we waited a few years. It was just the 4. So when you saw Anukembe, it was just the 4 girls and I who did that project. But we have been blessed to welcome 3 more into our family, completing it to 9. So my son Ayo, he's 3 years old. And my daughter Mahali, she's 2 years old. And my son Anis, he is going to turn 1 this month. So this is my beautiful Haitian family, and we do anything that has to do with IT. We are number 1. We're there. It's like, if it has to do with IT, we are there representing. But it wasn't always that way. It wasn't always that way. So back in, well, I'll say, when I grew up in South Florida. I don't know about anyone else, but I grew up in South Florida in a time where it was not popular to be Haitian at all. It was actually something that you would not tell anybody that you were Haitian, because for fear for your life. And for some people it was shame, and some people it was, just a level of misinformation that was out there that just was like, I don't want to have anything to do with Haiti. They have all these problems. It was definitely this fear-based things, watching the negative news report, hearing the tagline saying, Haiti is so poor, and why are people coming on boats? And so as a child, I wasn't this bold like I was back in 2020 to really share that I was Haitian, to put the flag on my back, right? To say that I was from there. And I also grew up Seventh-day Adventist. And within that religious group, I used to attend crusades and hear a lot of stories about voodoo and lugau and demon possessions. And so as a child, it made me very, very fearful and distant and disconnected from Haiti. So my family we were raised in the church, we were, active people, ministry, doing all sorts of things. And I was the last. So if you see this, I'm the baby sitting in the picture. So I was the last daughter born to Haitian immigrants. Like I said before, my mother's family is from Lembe and my father's family is from Pion. And so they both immigrated to the state by way of Jamaica and Bahamas. My dad went up to New York, and my mom from Bahamas, she graduated from Bahamas Academy and went to Miami. So when my dad moved down to Miami, they met at Zion SDA Church and they got married and started a family. And so I had a very special relationship with my family, with my sisters. And I just remember, honestly, just not hearing many stories about their childhoods and life before coming to the States. So it was always kind of like a mystery. They barely spoke Creole to me because they were in the mindset of the assimilation, right? We're in this new country. We need to make sure that you know the language. So even though I went to a Creole speaking church, we had connections, we didn't celebrate anything that had to do with Haitian culture per se. So there was a lot of things that I did not know because they didn't speak Creole to me. And I only remember hearing about the kidnappings and the corruption of the government and the poverty. And so I remember one time when my dad went to Haiti, he came back empty-handed because he had given like all his money away, all his belongings away to the people in his hometown in Pion. So that kind of fear I felt as a child was not only substantiated externally, but like what I was watching on TV, but I was listening, Timunyo, they listen, they're hearing what we're saying. And so I listened to what they said, and it formed a paradigm in my mind about what it meant to be Haitian, right? And it didn't seem like it was something that needed to be bold and proud. It was kind of like, oh yeah, it's a part of us, but we're in America now, right? So that's essentially how I grew up, with a sense of mystery, not really knowing what was going on, but also like knowing more of the negative things than the positive things. And so one of the things that really, I think, kind of encapsulated all of that was the fear, and you fear what you don't understand, right? And we were taught something. I remember this happened right after the earthquake and seeing this, and I kept hearing this narrative over and over again. And I'm gonna play it not because I I like what is said, but I want to create the context of what mindset and the paradigm that was given to me when I was a child.
And Christy, something happened a long time ago in Haiti, and people might not want to talk about it. They were under the heel of the French, Napoleon the Third and whatever. And they got together and swore a pact to the devil. They said, we will serve you if you'll get us free from the French. It's a true story. And so the devil said, okay, it's a deal. And they kicked the French out. The Haitians revolted and got themselves free. But ever since, they have been cursed by one thing after the other, desperately poor. That island of Hispaniola is one island. Mm-hmm. It's cut down the middle. On the one side is Haiti, on the other side is the Dominican Republic. Yeah. Dominican Republic is prosperous, mm-hmm. healthy, full of resorts, etc. Haiti is in desperate poverty. Same island. They need to have, and we need to pray for them, a great turning to God. And out of this tragedy, I'm optimistic something good may come. But right now, we're helping the suffering people, and the suffering is unimaginable.
Absolutely, Pat.
So these are the things that I was hearing, right? These were the things that was forming my paradigm about the type of person, I guess that was a reflection of me, and it made me fearful. And so I unconsciously started going through this grief process. And if you're familiar with it, anyone who's familiar with the grief process in the room, it usually starts off with this shock and denial. Then it goes into anger, then you go into bargaining, and then you kind of sit in the depression, and then eventually you may come to a form of acceptance when you're grieving something. And the thing that I was grieving was my cultural identity. I was grieving who I was, because I was hearing one thing, right? I'm Haitian, but everything about me seems to be bad. Everything about me seems to be cursed. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to protect myself? And so those external and internal factors created this fear-based paradigm, which made everything about Africa, Haiti, being Black undesirable, and made me view the world through a lens of fear, judgment, and punishment. There was a right way and a wrong way to live. So the white or westernized Christian society was right or acceptable, and anything that was Black or had drums or, that did not fit within that interpretation was this temptation or a wrong thing or something that I must deny or resist. And so, and so for my culture, right, if you're familiar with this concept of this cultural iceberg, I saw what the surface things were, right? I had an understanding of the food, our flag, the fashion, the things that we would sell. I had a very superficial knowledge of that, but because of the thing that I was raised in, right, this paradigm, this society, that was socializing me, that was socially engineering me to view myself, my people, my culture, anything Black as wrong. I essentially was going through this grieving process of denying and suppressing anything that had to do with my culture, especially speaking the language. I positioned myself as an outsider. I was present, but not true engagement or understanding at all. And because of that denial, my cultural identity, the questions began to arise in my spirit that I could not answer. Okay, so I was like, where do I stand? But luckily for me, the ancestors had a plan. And so the summer of 2019, I attended a conference, much like this one, a gathering, and it was the 25th annual African and African American Summer Institute, which featured the Haitian culture and language. And like I said, at this time, I was not connected at all. But Dr. Edwidge Bryant, who is shown here on the screen, she did a presentation about Haiti. She's an educator, and she was talking about the current needs and the apparent disconnect of the diaspora, right? And it was very compelling what she shared. And so this conference was like that first gust of fresh wind that I hadn't experienced a long time in my culture. And it was the end of this denial phase of my life and the beginning of me heading in the direction towards a knowledge of myself, and not just of Haiti, but of Africa as well. And so I took my family along with me on this journey. We would visit different museums, we would educate ourselves. I started learning how to cook Haitian food. Anybody want to put in the chat, what meal is this you see up here? What do we call this? What do we call this meal, this beautiful meal, right? Yes, maïmoulin. So like we really started, using our fashion, all the things that I said on that surface level, we really started embracing that. But of course, there is that deeper level, that other understanding that is more, that comes out in our language, that comes out in our values, that I was beginning to scratch the surface on. And so I'm super grateful. I always say this, I'm super grateful to Dr. Bryant's presentation, because it really was that first spark. That was the beginning of my revival experience. And so later that year, like I said, I was woken up in the middle of the night by the Spirit, and the Spirit gave me that song, "A New It's like, how do we hold on to what it is we know? And on October 11th, 2019, Haitian Preservation Academy was born. So it started off as Haitian Preservation Academy because I wanted us to learn, because I knew that I grew up in a society that made me invisible. I did not see myself in the textbooks. I did not see myself in the school. And I knew it was going to be upon myself, incumbent on myself, to teach myself and to teach my kids. And I said, I'm sure there's probably other parents out there who feel the same. So since I'm an educator, I've been an educator for the past 20 years. Like, since I know this stuff, I have my doctorate in early childhood and educational leadership. I have a lot of experience in the classroom and adult professional development. I said, you know what, I'm going to use my skills for Ayiti. And so that's where Haitian Preservation, the Academy, was born. And we went to the studio, we recorded the song. It was a very beautiful experience for my family to really kind of embrace this new identity. And so if you ever have a chance to go onto our Instagram and scroll, just scroll all the way down, you'll see some of the beginning things that we had done together at the beginning of Haitian Preservation. So one of the things that I had to explore, as I was telling you, because I had that fear paradigm, I was learning that spirituality and religion were two different things, right? And that spirituality is not something that can be taught. It's something that you feel and experience in your body, right? And so I started to read more, learn more, and I connected with some spiritual people that were a part of African scholarship, right? So I started using my research skills to really see who's writing these stories, because most of the stuff that I saw was really pretty negative, but they didn't have the full context. And so I really started digging in and doing the personal research to figure out, why was I so afraid, and what was the thing that was kind of separating me from that? And I realized that spirituality couldn't be taught to me. Religion was taught. Spirituality was something that I was going to have to go on a journey for myself. And so I continued to keep moving forward. After we started Haitian Preservation, I hosted a brunch called Mothers for Haitian Preservation, where I invited mothers to come, and we just started sitting and sharing and talking and sharing our stories. I was using my platform. I had applied to be Miss Haiti of Coral Springs, because Coral Springs is where I lived at the time. And so I used that platform to connect. So I knew that I still had fear though. So I'm here in this moment, I'm starting to do the surface things, right? The top of the iceberg, but I still had a lot of fear, right? But I kept moving, I kept pushing, and I connected with other mothers. I attended brunches, the Clay Sisterhood. I attended different events. These are some of the many people I was able to connect with. Dr. Solange Bivens, Edwidge Datikat. She's a prolific writer in the Haitian. So there was different people I was exposing myself to and my family to. But all the while I had that fear, still the fear in the background of my mind. And then in 2020, my father passed away. And when my father passed away, it became that pivotal moment for me, where some of the things that I learned as a child, I had to question. Because if the Bible says that there is no fear in love, and that perfect love casts out all fear, then why would I be afraid of my father now that he's been gone, right? Now that he's transitioned to another piece. And so it really allowed me to take the time to see that I could connect with myself and connect with my father still, even though he's passed on and transitioned to the next part. And so I actually made my own altar. I spent some time just learning about what that meant, and going into the history of all of it and why altars are important. And I took that time and I started communing, and I started understanding who I was more and more. And so after that, and really kind of letting go, I started in that grief cycle, I started forgiving myself of all of that fear and recognizing that fear isn't transformational. And I started leaning myself more towards love. And from then on, as you can see, we dedicated our lives, my family, to being 100% dialed in. My husband and I would do presentations. We would do cultural shows. Our daughters would dance. And so it became a part of our identity as a family to represent our culture and who we are. And one of the pivotal learning points for me that made Haitian preservation grow into what it is today is Dr. Gerda Nicholas. And I'm not gonna cry, but she has been a very, very, very influential person in my life and really exposed me. She brought me to Ayiti. She brought me home. She showed me myself. And through the work of Ayiti Community Trust, that's how I feel like Haitian preservation became a complete circle. So not just about us learning, right? But it meant that we needed to go back, right? We needed to actually put our feet on the soil. We needed to connect with our people there. And so as you can see, we have Dr. G with my family. She's embraced me. She's family. She's more than a colleague. She's family. And there we have some of our people from Sakapedokot when we went to do our program in Ayiti. So she, as the founder of Ayiti Community Trust, as the co-founder and president of the organization, she played a pivotal role in allowing Haitian preservation to grow into what it is today. And so this is me back home, my first trip. And some of the pictures of me at the Citadel, I did not know of this until I was in my 30s. And that's just to show you how much sometimes we are disconnected from what we do about this marvel, this huge thing that was there all along. And so I'm so grateful that I was able to go back home and to feel that freedom. And so that's why now Haitian preservation has grown from HPA, Haitian Preservation Academy, to a strategic partnership with Ayiti Community Trust so that we can make this full story a reality. And so our promise, what Haitian preservation promises in this new partnership, is the same as the hand, heart, and feet. We promise to provide digestible knowledge, coursework, things that you can learn because our team is stacked. We have people who have relationships with people who have a knowledge and understanding and that can dismiss all of that misinformation that was fed to us before because we were socially engineered to see ourselves as undesirable, as lacking. And so our mission, our promise to you as a people is that sorry, it should say head. Head is to learn. The head is to learn, and heart is to heal, and the feet is to go back. So when we learn, we will reconnect to our language. When we heal, we will see all the generations, the 17 to 21 generations since 1503, when our first African ancestor laid foot on the island of Ayiti. All those generations ago, we're going to heal that. This is that revolution. We're going to heal that through offering meditations, breath work, wisdom gatherings just like this, and then going back home. We'll have annual trips, birthright trips, where you'll be able to see firsthand what Ayiti Community Trust is doing in the rural communities of Ayiti and how we're going to be building this forever fund as our part as a diaspora being engaged in this work. And so I'm going to invite you right now I'm going to say it out loud, but for you to say it out loud, don't unmute because I know it'll be a little echoey, but I would love for you to recite with me our declaration. This is the statement that we've come up with that has really embodied what we are about and the vision that we are holding for Ayiti. And so I invite you to say it with me. We are one people, one nation, united to protect our land, preserve our legacy, and build a prosperous future for Ayiti. Well, you know what? Let's do it. Let's unmic. You know what? You guys did it. I'm gonna invite you. And now we're gonna unmic with the Kreyòl version, okay? So, Muzio-san. Nous
yon seul peuple, yon seul nation, unis pour protéger nous, préserver
et puis bâtir la vie
pour Haïti.
Merci.
Amen.
And that's for me.
Amen.
Ayi Gogo.
Thank you so much. So I hope that you enjoyed hearing about the history and the story of Haitian preservation and its renewed to really kind of connect us in a tangible way to Ayiti. And now we are going to move on to our language, which is one of the most important things that we can connect with first when we're learning and having our own personal Haitian revival. So, langue Kreyòl parler, Kreyòl comprendre. So, take it away, Dr. Blaise.
Hi, everyone. Bonjour. Encore merci un peu, Dr. Elisa. We're going to get the slides up for the lung session. Happy to be here with everyone. Okay, so as those slides come up, I want to just start by saying that language is a vital part of personal and collective identity, as well as a key part or aspect of deeply connecting with one's country. To describe the session here. So we're creating a safe space for you to connect and lean into the discomfort that arises when you think about your experience with our language. We're also creating a space for you to celebrate your journey with Kreyòl. And third, we're offering a space for you to help us discover how your Kreyòl journey can be accelerated or initiated. This is a critical step in your revival. And so I'll pass it over to go into the next slide and have Marlene, Julien speak about language exposure, just about how going from young ages to adulthood and how that can shape our comfort and connection to the language. Marlene, you can take it away.
Thank you, Dr. Gloria. Hey, hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be with you today. Thank you, HP and Haiti Preservation for inviting me to be a part of this great Rasanbleman. As I'm going through this, I was thinking of Dr. Jean's presentation about her own childhood, how her parents, her experience growing up with her parents and how that shaped her level of comfort with her own culture. And it's the same thing with language. If you grow up in a home where your parents don't want you to speak the language, then you grow in, and if they make fun of your accents, as some of our comments were saying, they make you feel like, oh, then you start feeling that shame and you don't want to speak Creole. My experience was different because I left Haiti at a young age. And when I came to the US, my father was a real nationalist. He wanted to make sure that I spoke the language. So I was speaking, and also my mom wanted to make sure that I speak the language. And I had family back home. So I needed to communicate with my family back home. So my parents always made sure that I spoke Creole at home. I didn't speak it at school, but we also spoke Creole at church. So I was always bathing, like the Haitians say, toujours baigner dans l'anglais. M'te toujours baigner dans l'anglais depuis m'te petit. Et pour moi, c'est un privilège. I think it's a great privilege that I got exposed to the Haitian Creole language at a very young age. So I wanted to ask the audience if any of you could share your experience with me as to how it was for you. If you were like a Haitian American who was born here, how was the experience with you from your early years with the Haitian Creole language, if anyone would like to share?
Yeah, and we'll also share a poll about how often do you speak Creole in a typical week?
Home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can share. Hi, my name is Fadia Jean-Pierre. I'm not able to come on camera right now, but I was born and raised in Haiti, born in Port-au-Prince, but from La Vallée-Jacmel. Growing up, it was always ingrained in me to speak French, and Creole was only spoken when I was in school. So like I will go to school on the weekends to learn Creole. So that's what was my culture. So my mom was very like stern about that. And so when I came here into the US, it was ingrained in me that I could only speak English. I couldn't speak French. I couldn't speak Creole because I had to learn it. And I think because of that, it kind of helped me like forget a little bit of my Creole, but I make sure to try to maintain it by talking to other people. My grandmother was the only person that like allowed me to speak Creole in the home. And so it's really important. And then with me going back to Haiti, being able to communicate with, with the people in the village and back home. And also I work with a lot of migrants. And so I have to speak Kreyòl. And so I'm creating the treatment plan in Kreyòl. And so with the work that I'm doing, it kind of re-empowered me to make sure that I am, making sure I stay connected to the language and speaking it. And I'm also encouraging like my cousin to speak it because it's really important. Language is powerful, and this is how we communicate. That's how we communicate. That's how we connect our community. So I think like that was my experience with Kreyòl. And I kind of feel a little bit sad that my mom, ingraining me that I couldn't speak it, and like I didn't know the history of it, but by learning it now I see the value, the importance of making sure that I know it, like I keep practicing it, that I keep speaking it, and also encouraging other people and empowering them as well too. So that was like my experience with the language.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm glad that although your parents wanted you to speak French, you still wanted to learn Haitian Creole, and now you're using it at work. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so as we were saying that there are two levels. I'm sorry, Mike, this pop-ups. There are two different experiences that we have growing up with the language. Sometimes you can grow up with confusion, shame, lack of identity, fear, and isolation. Because although the kids want to learn it, their parents don't want them to learn it. And there was even a school in Florida that wanted to have bilingual education. And even in Haiti, the parents, they don't want their children to be educated in Haitian Creole. They would rather have their children educated in English or in French. And the reason for that is because they want what's best for their children. In their minds, they think that if my kid is speaking Haitian Creole, which is the language of the poor, people are going to make fun of them. They will lose opportunities. So they want them to not speak Haitian Creole. But we know the more language a child speaks, the better it is for their brain health. And bilingualism has a lot of benefits. It creates opportunities for you. I've made a career out of speaking Haitian Creole. It can create a lot of opportunities for you. You are able to multitask, because all of you guys who are multilingual, you know how you have to code switch. And that's an exercise for your brain. So not only is it a connection with your identity, speaking Haitian Creole, it's also has a lot of cognitive benefits and professional benefits, and it makes you proud. Can you go on to the, yes.
Actually, we can stay here, actually. I want to take some time to discuss, I see the word revival here, right? I want to just take a moment to just share about this. So as Marlene mentioned, there's feelings of confusion, shame, and lack of identity, and fear and isolation associated with not being able to not only speak, but to connect with the language that you know deep inside is a part of your heritage and your family and all that sort. And so I want to just take a moment to begin the conversation of the revival by way of language. So I'll take a brief moment to talk about my experience. And as you see here, we have reflect, revive, and restore. I like the word restore because it's bringing back what was already there. It was already in our in our spirit, in our lives. And, once you experience this revival, which I describe as a moment that propels you to reconnect with Ayiti in a new way, more likely positive. You start feeling excitement about something new, learning the language, learning the culture, joy that you're finally doing the work to speak the language that you've always wanted to speak, but were either held back or didn't know a lot about it, but also fulfillment and connection, being able to connect with your country and feeling comfortable communicating with people in your community. But also pride. I mean, Kreyòl is a beautiful language. When I speak Kreyòl, I feel like I'm saying something more powerful than in English. So if we go over to the next slide, we'll start talking about some lived experiences. So if you didn't know me, I'll just share briefly my revival story. So I was born in Cafu, raised there for 5 years, went to Collège Juvenal, the Juvenal Sacré-Cœur. So I did learn the Je suis, Gloria, but that was not the language that my family stuck with me. Once I immigrated to the States, it was English and Creole sometimes at home with my father. But usually I'll respond in English because the goal was to learn English and get used to that so that we can continue our education. And so if you knew me by 2016, I was not speaking Creole well at all. I had to just pretty much guess words. There were gaps in my Creole, and I had to look outward or upward to search for the words while speaking, and I pretty much just avoided speaking it. I was afraid, and I have a stutter, so imagine trying to speak Creole and you stutter, right? But again, my father was more of the Creole speaker. My mother was okay with us speaking Creole. So while my moment of revival, this moment of revival that I talk about took place actually at a party in New York City when my Seventh-day Adventist neighbors took me to a party, and I'm like, wait, these are Haitian people my age enjoying the music, dancing, and having a great time speaking the language. I've never seen that before. I had never seen people my age enjoying all of that. And so it just completely changed my life. And since June 26, 2016, I have been listening to Konprann only in the other Haitian languages. And what you see on this screen here really is what happened after that. I literally started to learn all the music I could so I could learn the language even more. I went to Ayiti as much as I can. Again, these party goers that I became my close friends and still are my close friends took me to Ayiti, right? My parents were like, what? You trying to go back to Ayiti? So they were confused. But when you experience that revival, you have to go back home, right? And what makes it even better is when you go back home, I know it's funny here because it wasn't until I started hanging around Haitians that I realized that Haitians tease Haitians for their Creole or lack of Creole. But when I started to go into IET, they're much more reassuring. They're like, oh, like you're trying, you didn't grow up here all the way. So there's that weird situation. But all this to say, now, if you know me, if you hang out with me or talk with me, you know that I can speak Creole pretty decently now, right? Like pretty well compared to 2016. And going back to the mountain community, speaking with them, learning their words. My favorite word is Istwa. Istwa is one of the words that I learned, and I loved it because it just sounds so funny. But all this to say, my revival took place by me going to a party. So I'm a party girl, and it was just an experience that I can't, forget. And now I am here with you all today doing this amazing conference and gathering, doing amazing things with ACT and other entities because of this moment. So I'll pass it back to Marlene to talk about her revival because hers was different. Marlene speaks the
Yes.
most. So we'll go to the next slide, Amber.
Yes, thank you, Gloria. Yes, my revival, actually, it's only when we started talking about this event that I started structuring my journey with Haiti as a revival. I never even thought of it that way. So I would say that my revival started 27 years ago when I went back to Haiti for the first time after high school. My dad took me all over the country from Kinskov to La Saline. We had a road trip and then we drove. This is a picture of me in 1998. We were driving from Port-au-Prince to Cap. I got to visit the country, and that's when I started. I was always, the bandana wearing type of Haitian, the festival going type of Haitian. I spoke Creole, but that's when I fell in love with Haiti. This is when our love affair started, and I started reading. I went to the street market. I bought Maurice Sixto. I got introduced to Maurice Sixto. I got introduced to Haitian literature. My first Haitian book was Gouverneur de la Rosée, and I started learning more about Haiti, our history at a deeper level. And then I started going back every year. And before that, after that, after high school, when I was in college, I was working for the Haitian government. That was another great experience for me because I was with Haitians, speaking Creole at work. And that's another opportunity that I feel that not a lot of Haitians or Haitian Americans have that experience in the US. So I got to speak in Creole, I got to write in Creole. So these were my early formation years. My second revival, so that revival took, it was like 15 years of me learning and soaking into the culture and learning about the culture. And then after the earthquake, I had a pre-midlife crisis and Haiti was calling me. I had to go back. I wanted to contribute to rebuilding my country. And I applied for, I was applying for work everywhere. I got accepted to work with an international organization and I went back to Haiti. And that was another revival because I started learning more about the politics, the system, and a lot of the different systems that are keeping us where we are today. And I remember one day, you know, I had my driver, you know, I was going all over the country. I got to discover the country, and I was at the beach eating my $12 meal. And then there was a little kid who was collecting sticks by the beach. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, you know, I'm collecting this for my mom so she could cook. And I always made it a point to get to know the people around the area where I was working. And I was like, okay, then, you know, why are you not in school? I was asking him questions, and I wanted him to sit with me, to have a shake with me. And when I bought him a shake, he took it and he started running. I was like, where are you going? And he's like, I'm gonna go share with my mom and my brothers. And that just killed me. I don't think I even finished my meal. I went back to the office and I told my boss, we have to do something. We have to help the community. Because back then, I don't think I was emotionally mature enough. I was very passionate. And I was like, we have to do something. We have all these people. Because although I had my driver, I had a good job, I was making money, there was so much poverty around me. I was working in Port Salut, and I was going from Akin to Tiburon, and the South is one of the poorest regions of the country. You cannot believe. It's so beautiful there, but there's so much poverty. And I felt like, you know, I couldn't sleep at night, you know, with this job, and I'm supposed to be helping these people, and I wasn't. So I decided that, you know, I thought I was the problem and that I needed to go back to school and better myself so I could come back and get a better job. So I could, you know, really, because I wasn't the one making the decisions. So I felt like I would be able to make better decisions. But when I went to grad school and I started learning about politics and, you know, the dynamics and how this world works, and I decided that I was not going to go back to another job, you know, working for an international organization. And during all these periods, I was getting to know myself more. I was having, you know, a spiritual awakening, because all of these things are connected. I was, you know, getting to myself, and I felt like I need to use what I have inside of me to help my country. And one of the things that I have is my language, my culture. And my language is what I have, is what no one could take away from me. And even all the students who were studying with me, none of them had that. So after I graduated, I decided to start my own business. I started Kreyòl Solutions, and it was just me, you know, doing freelancing. And then my business started to grow, and I hired one translator from Haiti to work with me. And then we started to grow, and then he went to find someone else. He trained someone else. And then now we have about 50 translators, all trained by, it's like a network that we created because we're all connected somehow. And this is just to say that, you know, there's so much. Haiti needs all of their children. And and we just need to find what we have inside of us so we can help to build a country. And I'm not going to talk anymore because I feel like the tears are going to come in, but I'll pass it back to Gloria.
Merci, Aunt Marlene. And you know, this is a safe space, everyone. Lead into it. And so, as you saw, right, the common theme around myself and Marlene is language. I was learning the language and going back. She already knew the language, was going back, learning, and then left, and then went back. And now she's offering solutions to help people translate Creole, translate things into Creole language. And so I want to thank you, Marlene, for sharing that. And I'm coming back here now. We have another poll coming out, coming back to the live experience. This is where I'd like to take the next couple of minutes to offer a space for people to share their experience, whether it be with the Haitian Creole language, how they connected with it or have not connected with it, or in some instances, there's people that may have experienced a reverse revival, like they were living in Ayiti, fully, you know, involved, fully fluent, but then they left, and that experience may have caused them to now isolate from that and not speak it as much. So go ahead and fill that poll, but I welcome folks to share their revival with Creole or just their experience or thoughts about the Creole language. I know, Renee, I see your comment in the chat and people are responding. Thank you for that. But anyone else that wants to, you know, just take the mic and give us a minute or so.
Hi, everybody. I wanted to share some stuff because this is bringing up, I'm like having goosebumps. This is so spiritually intense right now. Like we're doing amazing. We're healing right now together. So I want to just be in gratitude for this space. This is something I've yearned, and I'm glad that like I'm in alignment to find this. So thank you for facilitating, and just I know that you and I are going to work some more in a lot of other things. So glad to virtually meet you again. I wanted to share about my experience because it's slight different. There are similarity. I came to the United States after the 2010 earthquake, so I am a survivor of the 2010 earthquake, and I came when I was like around like 12, 13. So just before puberty. So right before my adolescence. So most of my Creole was for 11 years. Like I spoke Creole and then just shoved to the United States. My dad also was a nationalist. Like he made sure that like in the house, like he doesn't hear speak any other language but Creole. So like we developed like a version of Creole where it was just to ourselves. So when I started to just like living in the United States and like going through the immigration process, like having TPS and like just like having that like weight for 15 years on me, it made it really horrible. Like it was a very weird existence to live there. So I was always connected and wanting to go back and couldn't. So I was frustrated. Like my existence was a frustrating one. So back when I started becoming an adult and having a bit more rest, and after years of therapy, I was able to start like having the space again to just like pursuit and figure out ways to go back to Haiti and ways to connect to Haiti. So I moved to Louisiana because I couldn't go to Haiti, so Louisiana was the closest. So I moved to Louisiana for a little bit, and then after years of going back and forth in different states, I went to Florida, and so 2023 was the time where I locked in, and I was like, you know what, my Creole is not where it needs to be, so I need for the next 2 years parce que 2025, c'est là ça me aller in Haiti. And honestly, it's happening. Like I just got my green card, so like I'm able to travel now. So it's like
Arrivé.
right. I manifested and they decided it. So just like giving me the courage and the bravery to be like, oh, I can do things if I'm able to visualize it. So for me, like I couldn't say it's a revival because I don't feel like there was ever a loss of connection, at least not a conscious one, but it was more so like I had to learn how to grieve and be within like hold space for grief and like understanding that to the point where right now I am a medical interpreter. Like I want the next 15 years of my life, I want it to just be dedicated to Haiti. So that's like what I do, like with whether it's coaching, whether it's like doula, all of the things that it's pour m'tourner Haïti parce que petit moi apprendre créole, m'a parler créole, petit moi parler créole, and it's just to me that's like what this means. Like so yeah, that's like without going super into depth, but that's like where I am right now.
Merci, Rasha. C'est une belle histoire. And Jean dit, you never disconnected. It was just the processes and events that happened that took time for you to come back and now be ready to reconnect physically again as well. And it's hilarious that you said that you went to Louisiana to try to connect with the Creole, the Haitian, and Florida called you. A lot of us come to Florida just to like, you know, it's where the Haitians are at. So I want to say thank you, Messi, pour I guess, your témoignage in a way. Thank you so much. And we'll be in touch because this space will bring people back to Ayiti. We don't play that. I mean, I'm not going to say who's going to be in Haiti next week, but Gomun Laka Ayiti, dans zone Grand Sud next week. But thank you. I also see Sandra's hand up. We have time for Sandra.
Yes.
Dr. Janna, can we hear from you after? After we cover.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, Sandra. It's you.
Oh, okay. I find it very interesting because we all have different experiences. I'm one of the older ones, so I spent I grew up in Haiti, left only to go to university. So Creole, I speak fluent Creole. And I realized that when the movement started, I think it was under Aristide, where Creole was supposed to be taught officially in school. I really regretted it that I hadn't had the opportunity to learn how to, write and read Creole. I do read it, and I try to write it the way I feel like writing it, but I speak fluently. And I never left. I mean, basically, I never left Haiti. I left to go study, ended up marrying a German, and but my heart has always been in Haiti. I built a house in Haiti because this is my dream, along with a lot of other friends who, see themselves going back to Haiti somehow. And it's been kind of difficult because over the years, you think, oh, now it's stabilizing, and you start making plans and it crumbles. So my last time now I went in 2014, 2016, 17, 19, 20, and the last time was 21. I didn't realize at the time. I went to Port Salut and Kai, and I thought 2022, I want to do Jérémy, and then the situation started, just going downhill. So I haven't been back since then.
Wow.
Kind of hard.
No,
Very
it's
hard.
very hard. It's very, very hard. And I remember
Hard.
hearing about the Ayiti era where they were trying to valorize the Creole and use it more. So I want to thank you for sharing that, Sandra. But also, like I told Rachel, we're going back, and there is I know a Haitian and Haitians in Berlin group. So I don't know if they do trips to Ayiti, but I mean, we're happy to have you here, and we hope we can engage some more, and have you jump around different hemispheres to get back here and hopefully visit.
Yes.
And I love Port Salut. Thank you, Sandra. Dr. Jana, I saw your hand up earlier. I wanted to give you a space. And Marlene, I see your hand. Matt, I see your hand. We're kind of running out of time, but there is a Q&A at the end that we can bring back this conversation because it's clearly very enriching. Dr. Jana, please feel free to unmute if you can.
Hey, yes, bonjour, bonjour tout le monde. What an amazing topic. So no one said Dr. Natasha Janelle Janak. And growing up, my parents always spoke Creole in the house. However, most of my adult life was in Nashville, Tennessee, where there was not many, well, I didn't know any Haitians in Nashville. However, upon returning here 10 years ago, a simple phrase of "On Lespri," there's a whole backstory to that, changed my whole entire life, was when I met my mentor. And now I am the president of this organization called Le Bâti Santé Mentale. And we have all kind of conferences and events here in Miami. And we are actively, every presentation that we do, we actively speak Creole, whether it's Kringlish or Creole, but we leave it very open because we are serving the Haitian population. And a lot of times what I find in these forums is that although we're serving the Haitian population, everybody's speaking English. Everybody's speaking English there. And so we have actively been trying to change that up because, in the sense of libérer tête nous, part of our language is part of it, and accepting and bringing that back in. So we intentionally speak Creole at every event. And even when we go to other events, right, we make sure that we lead it with speaking Haitian Creole to kind of just bring that back. Because when you start losing yourself, you start by your language. And if we can bring that Creole back, that's going to be very, very important. So thank you so much for hosting this.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Dr. Natasha. Marlene, I saw your hand up earlier. Do you have something you wanted to say before we try to spotlight?
I can save it for the Q&A, but I wanted to mention something to Miss Sandra where she was talking about, how she spells in the language however she wants. But maybe you can talk about that in the Q&A. But there are resources available for people to learn about the correct writing system, because the writing system was developed 40 years ago, but still a lot of people don't have access to it. But there is a way. It's important to speak Creole, but it's also important to spell in Haitian Creole. I didn't have a chance to talk about everything because we don't have a lot of time, but it's also important to spell Haitian Creole, especially now with the digital age and artificial intelligence. We cannot spell, people spell it however they think is logic to them, but there is a system that has been developed to spell correctly.
Okay. And that's something I'm learning as well, the accent and the spelling, you know, we have to respect the language because it is a language, right? We have to respect the rules and learn how to, you know, write and speak confidently. Now, I want to point out something. Matt Genius sent the link to others. And so there's someone's hand up that has Matt Genius as his name, but it's not Matt Genius. Can you let us know who you are? And I'll come back to you towards the end of doing the Q&A because I'd like to get back on the slides and share some last minute things for you so that we could keep going on schedule and get you all to hear the positive things to come in each session. So I see someone's hand up, so please let us know who you are in the chat and we'll come back to you. Amber, we'll get back on the slides right now. Thank you so much. Okay, so moving on up in the slide deck, we're going to bring this session more so towards the end of our discussion. So I want to thank you both, but thank you all for hearing both myself and Marlene speak today during this long session. It really is enriching to see people's stories and their journeys, whether they're still there, not there, left, went back. You know, a really amazing aspect of this for all of us is going back. You know, our experiences in Ayiti shape how we then engage with the language and people and, you know, shape our interests and futures. And so if we keep going on the deck, I want to now just spotlight a couple offerings. And so Dr. Elisa Jean mentioned earlier how she integrates all of her family into the Haitian language, the culture. And I just want to share that she has a book that you can read to the young ones. It's a combination of English and Kreyòl. It's an amazing bedtime story, and it's available on Amazon, just so you know, aware of that. And if we keep moving on to the next deck, we'll also show the Celebration Collective. And so, like I mentioned earlier, it was the parties that got me involved and wanted to learn the language, visiting Ayiti and where I am now, ironically enough. And so as part of Haitian preservation, I'll be leading this Celebration Collective, your blend of entertainment and social impact. So think of your full bar or the things that you normally do when you go out and enjoy, have fun, your favorite DJs, your favorites bands, but think of that, but with an impact, where if you go on the next slide, you'll see that 100% of the net profits from these events will be going to an endowment fund by way of Ayiti Community Trust. So really looking forward to having this be an option for folks that are looking to get more involved from a distance as well. And so we have a last poll here of what would joining a professional community of Kreyòl instructors or learners be something of interest to you? And while we do that, Sharif, are you here, by the way, Sharif? I want to introduce you all to our network that's doing amazing work, and that's also going to be a part of Celebration Collective. Are you here, Sharif?
Yes, yes. How are you? How are you, Doc?
Thank
How's
you.
everybody?
I'm good. If we could spotlight Sharif real quick. Sharif is an ambitious entrepreneur in the Haitian community. His family has been investing in IT for a very long time and still is. And at this moment, he's actually doing some investment work right now. I want to spotlight him for the to share.
So thank you guys for the time. Merci que nous prenons nous pour nous faire ça pour communauté pour nous toutes. So I honestly think that it's much needed within the community. I feel like we have to get Kreyòl not only as our language to get down packed, but also for the world to respect it, just like the world should respect Haiti. So I think today, as a young entrepreneur that's not only carrying my legacy, but I want to also carry Haiti's legacy with me, I'm joining forces with other entrepreneurs as well. Like I have my good friend Emmanuel Paret, which is in the petroleum industry. He's right next to me right now. Emmanuel, say hi to the people.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Everybody doing? So we were actually on his oil fields. He has oil fields in Kentucky. I'm actually in Kentucky right now. We're looking at different ways to bring not only the language, but the economical support to Haiti, and also to, you know, bring fuel to Haiti. That's what his dream is. I'm into the airline industry myself. We're looking to have flights daily from Miami to Port-au-Prince and also develop the domestic market. I'm very passionate about that because I don't feel like I feel like us as Haitians, we have really let down our people, and that now it's time to rebuild and actually have something positive. So one of the things that we are actually here and we're doing together is creating a platform. It's creating a platform where all of us can actually get in the same room, have funding for all these different companies through these different avenues. We know that oil is very profitable. We know that aviation is very profitable, and we want to put these industries together and actually push a better Haiti. So thank you so much for this. Doc, I know that you're doing an amazing job. Nou pal pa like tout nek ki fait program yo, tout football yo, tout moun tout, they're all friends of mine who not only the industries put back into the community and back into what you're doing, but also the parties too. Parce que Haïtien reme fêter. Nou reme carnaval nou reme carnaval des fleurs nou reme tout ça qui gen bon Lakay nou. So I feel like this is a way to not only present it to ourselves, but also to the world. So thank you so much for this opportunity to speak. I hope we have another roundtable where we could talk about investments, about capital gains, about building the communities and putting the right people together. So, moi là pour la jeunesse, nous-mêmes tout, so on nous tout faire ensemble. Thank you so much, guys.
Merci un peu, Sharif. So thank you and good luck with your trip. Looking forward to hearing from you on Tuesday at our next roundtable.
Yes.
But again, everyone, as mentioned, we're offering these offerings from Haitian Preservation to be able to not only expose you to the culture and the language, but to expose you to entrepreneurs. So we're hoping to have some more intimate gatherings that expose you to entrepreneurs, learn about them, but of course include language and culture and music. So I'll bring Marlene back up and we'll say thank you to you all. This has been an amazing session. I hope that it was enriching and that you feel motivated. And you'll see Marlene some more in Jalin Lakou Kreyòl during our Mache session, which is coming up next, where you'll choose the room. So I'll pass it back to Alisa to get us started on the salle. So we'll view a couple things, take a break, and then we'll go into separate rooms. Pick your vibe. So Alisa, you can take it from here. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Marlene.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Merci.
Yes, this was great. Oh my gosh. I have goosebumps.
Can I say one thing? I'm so sorry. Oops, it's too late for that.
No, you're good.
There was a comment about Haitian Creole. Monsieur Descartes, tu toujours là?
Yeah, toujours là.
Oui, ou te pose une question concernant, je ne vais pas prendre trop de temps, non? Est-ce que vous voulez nous parler après concernant l'appellation langue là? Question te posée à?
Oui, nous avons fait ça après. Nous avons fait ça après.
venir dans le groupe moyen et puis nous parler sur ça?
Yeah.
Ok, parce que c'est une question importante. Merci en pile.
Ok.
D'accord, bye bye.
Yeah.
Yes, so basically that's what we're gonna do right now. So if you'd like to stretch your legs, get something to drink, please feel free to do so right now. But we are going to open up our Mache right now. So you can choose. You can either stay in the main room and take your break, but you can also go into our 3 different rooms for you to take for the next 20 minutes or so. And then we are going to come right back on with Lakay and Matt Genius. So about 3 minutes to the hour, we'll kind of bring everybody back in. So thank you so much for participating in this first half of the Haitian Revival. And we look forward to seeing you in our chats.
Oui. And not y'all shutting off my playlist. I hope that you all enjoyed my playlist, my 5-song playlist. Those songs get me going. I don't know if the Summer Tea by Disip and Dine Said played. But these are my songs keep me going. But welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, let's play the transition music here.
In the hands of the maestro.
Stevie Thunder in the building. What up, Detroit?
Yo, Stevie Thunder, play that beat for me.
Ubetet, Ulekay, 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 Ubetet,
Let me tell you what the business is. Let me tell you what some Haitians did. Ancestors helped them build the bridge. Got connected where the spirits live. Cost of freedom may be dangerous. Stories told about the people who were savages. When the savage tell a story, change a narrative. In the name of a God who would always give. Give a mission just to kill at will. Give them grace, they could pay that bill. See, my people had a heart of gold. One could live a skin, they gave them gold. Perfect weather, man, they knew no cold. Trigger others from across the globe. Colonizers couldn't see that the vanity. A crusader for the Trinity. Murder millions cause they stood their grounds. Holy man thought compassion he found. They like I saw the numbers of the natives down. Said the natives needed saving now. Young priest to petition the crown. Such an African could turn it around. Hallelujah cause the gods were pleased. With community the most disease. You wanna live, you better bend the knees. Without our solos was a double V. Make it bank with no hidden fees. Some didn't make it from across the seas. Didn't know that we were destined to be. Light a flame for the world to see.
Ubetet, Ulekay, Ubetet, Ulekay, Ubetet, Ulekay.
Revolution. Revolution.
Wow.
Welcome back, everyone. Alrighty, so that song that you just heard just now by our very own Matt Genius was about to give us the next session, Lakay, home. So the Dr. Jean, thank you for spotlighting and sharing your history and relationship with Matt. It's so awesome to see how you both have come together and formed HP. And if you didn't know, folks, Matt is the one that brought Alisa to us. So I want to thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt, for all that you do and what you continue to do. So I'll pass it over to Matt to get us started on Lakay and give us this journey.
Thank you. I can't take credit for any of this. I was so moved by the first two presentations, and something that I kept hearing over and over was that we were trying to hold back tears. Like people were trying to hold back tears. Why? Right? This is a love story. And so in love, there are tears, tears of joy, tears of sadness, tears of grief. Let it out. It's okay, right? So, by the way, that song Boule is a love story. It's a love song, right? It's a love song. It's a revolutionary song, but it is a love song because love is revolutionary. When you are in love, it makes you move, right? The things that we fall in love with, we protect. And so that was a song that I created after, I think, my third time going to Haiti and visiting Citadel, but we'll have time to talk about that. Can everyone see the screen? Yes.
Well,
excellent. All right, let's get into this. So what I will try to do today is share this story, and I will share the words that are on the screen in English, and I will do my best B+ Kreyòl to say the translated in Kreyòl as well. And so if you can, if you are watching, read it out loud for yourself, because this is your story as well. This is not just my story, this is yours. This is our story. And so read it out loud. And if you can, translate it in Kreyòl. The first is, I didn't know how much I needed Haiti. I did not know. I was born in Nassau, Bahamas, to Haitian immigrant parents. Their story are similar to many parents who left Haiti to find a better life for their family. And this is me at 2 years old, I believe. I'm looking at this picture and looking at my kids' faces, and I could pinpoint, this is around 2, right? So, but this is in Nassau, Bahamas, where I was born, to immigrant parents on an island that wasn't theirs, that wasn't their home. And that experience shaped a lot of my narrative around who we are as a people. And it was rich because even though we live in what people will call, an impoverished state, what we had was community. There were Haitians living all around us in Fox Hill, in Nassau, and we formulated something that was reminiscent of home. In fact, my mom told me a story about my birth. She said I was born at home, And then I asked her who birthed me. She's like, some lady named Pauline. I'm like, what? So, but even then, you know, when I look at this picture, there was a knowing, there was a connaissance that I had. I knew something back then, right? And I remember a lot of my younger years with that connaissance, with that knowledge. But what I didn't know is how much I needed Haiti, right? And so these are my lovely parents. This is my dad. I like to call him Fuematile, and this is my mom, Semachu. This is Mr. Pomago, and this is Mrs. Mumblad right here. And these two brave individuals found their way to Nassau, started a family over there, and did their best to help us embrace our culture. My dad was a pioneer in his faith in the Seventh-day Adventist community, where he helped start the first Haitian church in the Bahamas called Francophone. And so they gave all that they can. But again, I didn't know how much I need Haiti, and I didn't know how much Haiti needed me. Mon pat konen ki jam te bezwen Haiti, and puis m'pat kompran. I didn't understand fully. M'pat konen how much Haiti needed me. Ki jam Haiti te bezwen. There's a story that is painted when we hear these stories from a person coming from Haiti to a foreign country, then to the States. That story is always incomplete, because what we seldom hear are the kids going back, right? Finding their way back. And my parents, although they traveled back frequently, right? Although my dad was there almost every other year, the stories that came were stories of agony, pain, and fear, and disappointment, and trauma, and political unrest, and a lot of the things that made us fearful. The invitation was never there for us to journey with him to go to Haiti. Even my mom, when she went, it was never there to come back. And I know it wasn't that they were ashamed of it, but there was a fear that they had for us, that if we were to go there, they didn't want something bad to happen to us. And so that translated into my own personal fears and how I related to Haiti. But the story continues, because she gave so that I could be here. And when I say she, I'm referring to Haiti, right? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Listen, I'm gonna do it. Ibai tutsai tegeye punkala josia. There we go, right? Right? And in that process of giving, it didn't just give me it gave me my wife is Haitian. Like, come on. I got Haitian triplets. Like, you know, like, these are things that filled my heart, because Haiti gave this story to me. Haiti gave so much to me, gave me the opportunity to be here, from my parents, from their parents, and now to my kids. And so, you know, Haiti was always giving, you know, and then this is a place where we started to bridge Haiti giving us to giving back to Haiti. When my wife started Haitian Preservation, we wanted to make sure it was a part of the culture in our households. And so we dripped our kids in Haitian attire. We made sure that they woke up singing, going to sleep, eating, breathing, all things Ayiti, right? And so Haiti was always giving to me. Haiti was always giving to us, right? Ibai tutsa ikabai punokala juja, you know, and then ibai encore punaka gunzi. Here's my parents right here in joy, right? Because what they started by moving here developed this beautiful family right here with their kids and their offsprings. I can't even tell you how many offsprings they have, because, you know, we have 7 on our own. And so it's a beautiful thing to see us outside of Haiti. It's a beautiful thing to see us everywhere, in Texas, in California, in Germany. It's a beautiful thing. But I know for sure for many of us, there's always that call, there's always that yearning, you know, Ayiti called me, right? She called me in 2010 when I saw what happened, right? As a son of Haiti, feeling her pain, and I know for many who watched the news and heard the stories of what happened in Haiti during the earthquake, their families who were impacted, all of us were in pain. All of us were hurting. And so automatically as a mental health professional, I had recently graduated. And the first opportunity I had to interact with those that were impacted by the earthquake was at an international school in Broward, where a lot of the transplants from Haiti were attending. And they gave me, they poured into me something that they shared with me that still helps me fall deeper in love with Haiti, was that when they were in the States, a lot of them were grieving home. And in my mind, a person that's never been there before, I was asking these, like the young lady who was on earlier, I was asking these teenagers, like, your country was, you're externalizing it like if she wasn't mine, your country is suffering right now. What do you miss, right? What do you miss about being there? And they just said they just miss home. They just miss the sounds. They just miss the peace. And I'm thinking we're in the land of opportunities. They were grieving being back home. And so it wasn't until September of 2010 that I had a chance to go there with a group, an organization that we formed, myself and a few colleagues from Nova Southeastern University, where we had a chance to go back home. She called and I answered. And so we went to Delma, and we were at a Baptist missionary for about 8 days where we did counseling with the community, right? We invited them inside, but we also went outside to engage with them. And we had such a great time learning from them, having a chance to embrace the culture for the first time. And I'm very dramatic. I'm very Haitian, as you would say, very demonstrative, with my hands and expressions. And so when I went there for the first time, I mean, like, I had my arms stretched out and I was like, "Mais oui, mes petits garçons." And of course, people were looking at me. I didn't even care because I was home. I felt it. As soon as I touched down, it felt like a rush of energy came inside of me. And every day I was there was magical, right? This is a true story. When I was there, the first night I was there, because of all the stories and the stigmas that were presented from my parents, from the news, I remember sleeping in the Baptist missionary. It was a nice setup. It was a church with, communal spaces on top. But I remember going to sleep and I couldn't sleep because I was waiting for the job to come get me, right? I was waiting. I heard, listen, every sound I heard, I was like, this is it, right? It's gonna happen. I heard stuff outside moving, I was very in tune, but also very curious to just feel safe. And being there, seeing those faces, it just gave me so much to just relax, right? The way they embraced me, the kids, the adults, the stories, and the way they shared with me. It wasn't just me pouring back into the community. They gave us so much. In fact, by our 5th day there, we were experiencing burnout as professionals. We were seeing the community at least 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening, and we were experiencing burnout. We were debriefing every night, and it was healthy for us, but we were still overwhelmed with all of the stories, with seeing amputees, with hearing how people were still looking for their family members in September, and the earthquake was in January, and so we were overwhelmed. And the person who was in charge, the priest, not priest, but the Baptist pastor that was there, the Haitian guy that was there, he said that he would take us somewhere for us to just reset. And he took us to Calico Beach Resort. And for those who know Calico Beach Resort, my God, I was blown away, right? Here I am, born in the Bahamas, accustomed to beautiful beaches, right? Raised in Miami, accustomed to beautiful weather. I went to Calico Beach and I was blown away by the beauty. This beach, if I could describe it to you for a second, had no sand, just smooth stones as far as your eyes can see. And The water was warm. The water was fresh. We drank from the coconut trees that were on the beach. It was magical. Leaving there, the desert that I am, I collected at least 10 stones with me from the beach, and I brought them back to the States. And then that's how I named my private practice Beach Stone Counseling, from that experience of having respite in Haiti. And what I love about my time there is that all these faces are in my memory, like all these faces, the smiles, right? The curiosity. I was looking at this picture and I was like saying, she's president of something right now. She's a boss of someone right now. Like this guy's moving mountains somewhere. Like, and so Haiti's always giving to us, and this was my chance to give back. So I went back, right? And the Lemwe Tune. This is me going back with ACT for the first time on the edge of the world. When I'm telling you, I was in awe of the majesty, of the beauty, of the sheer size of Haiti. By the way, I was doing some research and I found out that Haiti is bigger than at least 7 states in the United States. And most of those states that is bigger than are in the Northeast. Boo to the Northeast. No, I'm kidding. But the point is, we sometimes believe that Haiti is just this one small space called Port-au-Prince, when it's really massive. It is a massive, it is commensurate to Maryland. So the state of Maryland, think about that size. And then I also looked at how many European nations or the European countries Haiti is bigger than, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Italy, right? Uzbekistan, right? All these different countries that you hear all the time with prominence. Haiti has more land, right? And beautiful land at that. And so when I went back, let me to the, il commençait Bamako, et puis Ibom Police, right? Ibom Police. I love nature. And so I became a kid again. Every time Haiti would reveal herself to me, every time I saw something brand new, it was me falling deeper in love. Look at those curves, right? Look at the water. The water was so fresh. The mountains were so rich, the grass, the trees, everything, right? And she gave more, right? It commençait bam plus and more, right? This is Il de Rat. It says Milo here, but I guess I didn't change it. This is Il de Rat. When I saw this, I'm like, why would I ever go to Hawaii? Why do I need to go to Bali? Why do I need to go to these places when Haiti's right here? And I spent at least 3 hours in that water without getting out. I had my snorkeling gear and I was in that water chasing Nemo. I found Nemo. Nemo's in Haiti, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. If you're looking for Nemo, Nemo's in Ayiti, right? I saw Nemo in those waters swimming around, so I was chasing Nemo. Haiti gave me so much, but she just didn't give me nature. She gave me evidence of her, of all of the contrary things I heard about her. I was getting to know her for myself, right? And so, I mean, every chance all of these are from my eyes, by the way. I didn't get these on Google. I didn't search. These were from my eyes to the lens. And I'm sure what the camera captured is only a fraction of what is actually there for you to see. Great, I'm talking about great weather. Can't even talk to you about the accommodations and more, right? Ibai, please. Mais on bagay Haiti bay, c'est instruction. So when I was there, I wanted to know Haiti's secrets. So I woke up early. I woke up before the sunrise and I listened and I was silent and I saw and I heard and I watched the city breathe. I watched Okap breathe. I watched the sun come up. I watched the birds fly over my head. I even got attacked by a bat. It was still magical to be there. The instructions she gave being up so early was continuous on let them know, right? This was another location. I'm sorry about the caption to the bottom, but when I woke up early, one of the things that I realized was that it doesn't matter how early I was up. Haiti was up before me. It didn't matter how early I woke up. There was always people up before me getting to the business of of being Haitian, right? People were on the water fishing early in the morning. I know you guys saw the boats fly by. I know that went by fast, but there were fishermen out early, right? And when they saw me and I saw them, we were waving at each other. One man was on a boat singing to the top of his lungs, singing, praising on the water, just having a great time, right? And these are the things that I received from Haiti. Go back, right? She said, let them know, tell them, right? Fayo kone, right? Dio de majesty moyen, right? Let them know of my majesty. This is actually Milo right here. Okay, now we're at Milo. This is at the gate of the palace of Sanssouci, right? But it's not just the gate. It's just seeing how majestic the landscape is, the topography is. You know, one of the things I used to hear about Haiti is that Haiti doesn't have any trees. Forget trees. Haiti has jungles, right? Like rainforests. Like there's so much to see there. There's so much to experience there. And because I love nature, I was drinking it all in. They had parrots everywhere, right? They had all types of indigenous species to Haiti that if you aren't in tune, you will miss the majesty of being there. You'll miss a lot of the beauty that Haiti had to offer, that Haiti has to offer. She said, let them know, right? Look at that water. I promise you, like, we were at, what's the name of the Ecologique Resort. And there they have a dock. And so I hung out on the dock a lot because that's where I did the time-lapse photography for the sunrise. And when I was there after the sun rose, I was just staring at the water. And yes, that's where I saw Nemo. Like Nemo and all of his buddies, his parents, Dory, all of them were there in Haiti. I'm like, what? Haiti has. Right. So, but you said let them know. Right? It's you know, Dio de pouvoir, man. Is that how you say strength pouvoir? Power, my power, right? Tell them of my strength. There's an expression, I don't know if it's African in origin, but it says behind every mountain is another mountain. And man, that is true for Haiti. Like, as far as your eyes can see, when you're in the right space, there's always another mountain behind a mountain. And the strength is awe-sacred. And another one, right? Like, this is at the Citadel. But I wasn't just looking at the Citadel. I was looking at this country. Like, where am I? Like, it goes on and on and on and on for almost forever. And I wanted to get to know her even more. She said, tell them of my power, right? And the power isn't just in the way she defended herself. The power is in the land and the people and the air and the water and everything that you encounter there. It's Dio de, how do you say beauty? Dio qui j'aime moins belle, right? Dio. Beauté, right? Dio, like, let them know. Tell them of my beauty. Everywhere I turn, there was beauty. There was beauty. And of course, you will see poverty, but poverty doesn't equate to ugliness, right? What we consider impoverished sometimes is a mistaken understanding of value, right? Of wealth, of abundance. And I saw that everywhere I went. The creativity, the ingenuity, the spirit, the desire, right? The passion everyone I encountered had to make sure that what we saw as people visiting, or what we experienced as people visiting, right? As children returning home, was something that we can take back and share with others. And I remember being in OCOP with ACT. I believe it was with ACT. If it wasn't, it was probably another time. And it was around the time this priest was kidnapped in OCOP. And all the phone calls from Haiti from the United States started coming to me, asking me, was I okay because somebody got kidnapped in Port-au-Prince? Right? Everyone was concerned. Matt, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm on the beach right now drinking a pina colada, of course. I'm great. So the assumption is, you know, when one thing happens, it happens everywhere, and that is not the case. There's so much more to be explored. Yes, we can talk about the gang violence and all the corruption, but I want to focus on the beauty that I experienced when I was there. And il dit comme ça, Dio, man, pain, right?
The Latin? I say pain in Creole, guys.
Douleur.
Haiti, you know, il dit comme ça, Dio de douleur moi, the pain that she feels because her children aren't coming home to see her, to visit her. Let them know the pain. Let them know that the pain isn't because of what's happening on the island. The pain is that she misses us. She misses her children. She wants to engage. And so I remember feeling the stress of taking my kids to Haiti. What would that be like to have my kids go to Haiti? And because I've been there and I feel confident of how magical their experience would be, I know that her pain will be quelled one day because she will reunite with her children. She will have a chance to see her grandchildren, her triplets, right? And she means us no offense, right? This in Creole is, "I parle au fond," right? She doesn't want to offend us, right? With all of what we've heard, it's almost like we put her in the place where she's the villain in the story when she is not. This is the face of my aunt, right? And my aunt is 95 years old. And when I saw her face, I was in tears because that's my face. That's my son's face. That's my daughter's face. I was in tears because this is the person, this is the island that I was fearful of, that I was told not to go back to. These were the spaces, these were the stories that I was told to be fearful of. Even the way we smiled, right? She has her tongue pressed up to her teeth and I did the same way. Even the small things, it was so beautiful to then have those experiences where I was meeting Haiti for the first time over and over and over. I think by this, my first time was in 2010. I have now been back at least 5 times or 4 times after that. And so she means us no offense. She means us no offense. She doesn't want us to feel shame because of the image that is put out there about her. She doesn't want us to feel lowly or small because of what is being said about her, because of what our parents even said about her. She wants us to get to know her. She wants us to give her a chance. And this is an image from the Citadel, but just took my time to just get it all in. So you can see it for yourself. This is not a still, this is a moving image. She's asking you to give her a chance. Easy, bum your chance. I don't know the rest of the song. I know it's a Creole song. Bum your chance. Give her a chance and get to know her for yourself. Learn in any way of her, right? Lastly, she wants you to get to know her intimately. And then so you can come back and share of what you've learned from her. And so yes, there's fears. Yes, there's misunderstanding. Yes, there's propaganda. But I had a chance to see and get to know her for myself, and I fell in love. I felt deeply in love. I can't wait to go back. Laptanu, Ayiti aptanu, right? Laptan upuwetune. She wants you to come and engage. She wants you to come and see and embrace and laugh, right? And just be in awe of her. And so I'm gonna invite Christina to the stage now so we can talk about opportunities to return, right? This is something that we will eventually offer my mother's mother. And so learning the land that our mothers came from would be one of the opportunities we'll share. And so Christina, if you can come on. Oh, there you are.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm so excited to be a part of space and grateful for all the effort and hard work and all the storytelling that's made this space what it is. I believe in community very much and the impact of community and the power of community, and just being a part of this is engaging in community and creating it. So thank you for having me here today. So yes, I'm Christina Blanchard. I am a licensed mental health therapist, primarily based in St. Pete, Florida. I'm also a clinical supervisor for a nonprofit that does a lot of work for the community in Manatee County, so a little bit further south than St. Pete. But much of my work involves doing adventure therapy. And so adventure therapy is a little bit different than traditional talk therapy, which happens pretty much in an office, right, with the four walls. And so the work that I do takes people outside. I do a lot of walk and talk. So during our sessions with my clients, we go for walks outside in a nearby park. And a lot of what I do focuses on incorporating physical movement, connection to nature, to help facilitate that reconnection to self, that reconnection to community, building resilience, and fostering healing and personal growth. And so that's a lot of what my work is focused on. I also see some private practice clients on the side. So I wear a couple of different hats, but it's just because my passion for helping people is a really big motivator for me and a driving force for me in what I do in my day-to-day. And so I'm really looking forward to being a part of helping create and give ideas to support and make these birthright trips come to life, because I really feel that it's important for us to reconnect with our roots. It's part of our identity. So when we're talking about reconnecting with ourselves, especially in our work and our healing journeys, being able to reconnect to the different parts of our identities that make us who we are is a really big part of our own journeys and our own growth. So I'm really looking forward to being able to help with that. I have some experience in working with foster youth in St. Pete in the group home and doing expeditions, so sailing trips. And so I'm really looking forward to how to help bring about that transformative experience within these birthright trips and really make them intentional for everyone attending, so that it really is a powerful and transformative experience for everyone. So thank you for having me. Thank you for creating these spaces. Thank you for really bringing life to these ideas and creating this space for community. I'm really excited to be a part of that and to engage with everyone. So on the slide is some of my information. So again, I am taking clients right now. If anyone is in Florida and open to experiencing adventure therapy, looking to do some personal work and personal growth for themselves. And again, I'm really looking forward to working with Ayiti Community Trust and the Haitian preservation and creating these birthright trips.
Thank you. Can you tell us really quick, what would be one benefit for a person that is interested in stepping outside of their comfort zone and going to Haiti? What would be one benefit?
I know that, well, for me, right, I can definitely speak on my personal experience. It mirrors a lot of the stories that we've shared in terms of, and even you shared about not knowing how much you needed Haiti and how not knowing how much Haiti needed you. Like when you go, I remember for me, I grew up in Haiti until I was 7 and moved to the States and didn't go back again until I was in high school, a freshman in high school. And even then, in my younger years, having gone back, being able to reconnect to the people that are in my family, the people that are a part of the story, right, that precedes my birth, but that have every kind of influence on the person I am today and the person I grow to be and how I maneuver through this world. I think reconnecting to those parts of ourselves and reconnecting to the history that shapes us in ways that even we don't necessarily see in our day-to-day or think about in our day-to-day, it really is impactful on us. And so it can be, you know, with the stories and growing up hearing like, oh, it's scary, don't go, like it's dangerous. It can be really hard to make that choice and step outside of your comfort zone to be able to experience these transformative trips. But I really think it does grow this sense of self and sense of self-identity when we do take these kind of trips and we do learn about our roots and the land and the culture and the history. It really changes, it really changed my perspective.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Knowledge of self, know thyself, know thyself. And so this is definitely a path of getting to know myself, getting to know my parents, getting to know my culture, getting to know my own strength, getting to know some of the secrets, a lot of secrets that were not told by me, were whispered to me when I went to Haiti. Like, if you really want the tea, go to Haiti. That's what I'd say.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Literally.
Hearing my dad, he'll tell me stories about how Haiti has been such an impactful force in the development of nearby countries in the Caribbean and Cuba, and kind of the influence that we've had. And it's just incredible. And to know that you come from such strength, such power, such resilience, and a country that's so small but did something amazing and helped other communities be able to get to the points that they did to get their independence and freedom too. Like, it really does change your perspective and kind of the pride that you take in who you are and where you come from.
Yeah. And I don't mean to correct your knowledge, but Haiti is not small, right?
Yes, that.
Haiti is not small. We have to change that for ourselves. It's not a small space, right? It is massive. And so, but I do understand, meaning, and our understanding, as small as people perceive it to be, to have such a deep impact on where we are in the United States and in the Caribbean and all over the world. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, we're going to turn it back over to you all, unless there are questions or comments in the chat that you guys want to pull up.
I don't say too much, just a lot of praise and just thank yous for what you both just mentioned.
All right. I do have the microphone, so let me talk really brief about how we can get active, right? We have this walk coming up, this global walk for Ayiti, United in Legacy. This is all of us in the diaspora and in country. We're going to do a walk together on September 20th, on Desaline's birthday, in whatever city you're in. So we have, I don't know how many different cities or different countries are represented in the chat or in this room today, but on September 20th, we will be gathering again. And this is not just for Haitians. This is for everyone who feels connected, who feels pulled by this Haitian revolutionary spirit, by something awakening in them and having a desire for more, for Haiti, for our future. And so we will be coming together September 20th. You can scan and rep your city. Currently, I won't say who's winning, right? But we do have a friendly competition that's going between some of the major cities. Miami, Atlanta, Boston, and so please join. And on September 20th, we'll be gathering together. There will be people in Haiti taking that walk up to the Citadel on that day, representing ACT, United in Legacy. And so scan this code, join us, rep your team, rep your city, because when Atlanta wins, we all win, is what I'd say, right? That's what I'll say.
Oh, man.
When Atlanta wins, we all win, right? Thank you guys for allowing me to share. I really appreciate this. And if there were no questions or comments, engage. I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm glad that I can share my story, and blessings to you all.
Oh, Matt, thank you so much for letting us know about this and getting some friendly competition going. Like Matt said, we're city teams. We got folks on this side of the world and the other side joining. Atlanta, as I've heard, is the Black Mecca. We've had Haitians in Atlanta say, we're gonna win, we're gonna fundraise, but you guys might have numbers. We're gonna have the most money. But yes, please join us. I just sent a link in the chat for the actual overview page, and that will take you to the Eventbrite to walk. I know a number of you are part of wellness clubs, running clubs, medical doctor clubs. Any club that you're a part of, please join. So, Matt, you just really put us in a great position to lead us into our keynote to come. And so a part of Love Experience is going back to Ayiti, but there's someone here that's been going to Ayiti for the past 32 years, I think, every month, or at least every year. She's been in Ayiti every year. And I have the honor of presenting to you Dr. Geda Nicolas, president and co-founder of Ayiti Community Trust. Just like Dr. Lisa Jean, Dr. Nicolas has influenced me. She keeps me going. When I feel down or I feel like Haiti's too much for me, we talk and all of a sudden I'm ready to be president or something, right? If you haven't met her yet, she can persuade you to do the most amazing things for Haiti and your community. And it is an honor to be able to present her today as our keynote/headliner. And I'll let her present herself more in detail because she can speak for herself and is amazing in showing just having the way that she speaks about herself that I think she'll do way better job. So everyone, Dr. Geda Nicolas, you have the floor and looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Thank you so much. Merci en pile, Gloria. Honneur à nous toutes. As you hear, Natasha, m'a vini nan salle sans pas di honneur. Et m'konne que nous toutes connaît réponse là, c'est qui ça lié? Respect. Ça veut dire que le moment où arrive en côté où dit honneur, you déjà connaît que. But it's an amazing call also because it's an opportunity for us to say that when we show up in spaces, we want to honor, right? Each other. We're honoring the space, we're honoring each other. And when we respond back to say respect, right? It also means that we're going to be respectful of each other, respectful of the conversation, respectful of the space that we are in as well. So I never show up without saying honneur respect, which is why Dr. Natasha Janak was saying that, because we had such an interesting story. She didn't get a chance to share it fully, that I showed up at a presentation and I said honneur, and then people say respect, and she comes in and she's like, what is that? Like, I've never heard that before. I don't think most Haitians know that. It must be unique to where you come from in Haiti. And I said, and I heard her and I said, go home for me. And when you walk in the house, say honneur when you walk in the house and see what happens. And I gave her my card and I said, reach back to me and let's have coffee afterward. That was, I want to say 15 years ago, Natasha. That was, that was it. And so she went home and she said, honneur, and everybody in the house responded respect. And she had never heard it before, right? In terms of that. And that is how our relationship started, which was unbelievable. So I invite us to not say bonjour, to not say bonsoir, because that's not our way of coming into space, right? I invite us, because this is about the revolution of the Haitian spirit, that we're going to show up in spaces from now on and say honneur. And then we know that the people, right? The people will, without a doubt, respond back with respect. Let me just say for the moment that I am the child of Maria Gadjan, who never graduated from college, but who became pregnant with me while she was in college and became the starting of everything that I am to be as a part of my connection to the United States. I am the first grandchild of Charmant Rainville, who was married to François Nicolas, who was chef section de Tigouave. I am the great-granddaughter of Sylvania Rainville, and I was named by my grandfather at the time. I say their name because they're essential part of my walk, my talk, my thinking. And so, yes, I have a CV that's 50-something pages long, but it means nothing to me, right? Everywhere I show up with these people as a central part of who I am. So even though Gun is not with me still, but she is with me everywhere I go. And so I say their name when I show up to do a presentation. I remind people of who I am by who has been central to my life. It's not my PhD. It's not my 33 years as being a professor in the academy. It's not the fact that I'm a tenured full professor, written tons of different books. None of those things mean nothing to me if you don't know that I am the child born in Haiti of these amazing, amazing women who shaped me and so on. One of those women, Charmant Rainville, my grandmother, said to me when I asked the question about the name of Ayiti, right? I always hear, I was like, what is that gun? Like, what's a no? Say Haiti, no, really, no, ça pour créer son lien. This is what she says to me. And I translated, she says, Ayiti is the land which forces you to rise to your better self. Ayiti is the land which forces you to rise to your better self. Imaginez dans l'esprit that you show up and you say, nous sommes Haïtiennes, nous sommes Haïti, mais quand tu sorti, and you know that that name for you means it is the land which forces you to rise to your better self. It means we show up excellence every single day. However I was yesterday, I am better today. I will be better tomorrow because I come from a land that forces me to rise to my better self. Think of that for a moment. It is a land that is about promoting humanity across the globe. And we know that. I want to start off this afternoon by asking you to return back to the Independence Constitution of 1804. And many of us don't have that in your book. If you do not have it and you don't have that link in your phone, I encourage you to go to it as you go in this path of the revolution. Let me read to you the first 3 articles, and I promise, I know this team does a lot of preparation and none of what I'm saying was ever a part of the preparation. So I know they're a little worried about the timing right about now because none of that was a part of anything we talked about right today. But the first article of the independence of the Constitution of our independent, and by that I mean the independent of the island of Hispaniola, DR and Haiti combined. The Haitian independence is not about Haiti, it's about the island of Hispaniola. And that's important for us to understand that because there's a way that they will put us one against the other as if the DR and Haiti are 2 separate places, and they've never were, they've never been, and they were never supposed to have been in such a way. The Article 1 of that Constitution says, the people inhabiting the island formerly called Saint-Domingue hereby agree to form themselves into a free state, sovereign and independent of any other power in the universe under the name of Empire of Ayiti. Did you get that? Do you want me to say it again? Do you need it again? Okay, Article 1 of our Constitution says, the people inhabiting the island formerly called Saint-Domingue hereby agree to form themselves into a free state, sovereign and independent of any other power in the universe under the name of Empire of Ayiti. So when you show up, people say, where are you from? You have to say, I am from the Empire of Ayiti, not just Haiti. And when you say that, you are declaring that you are from Haiti, the Empire of Haiti, which means the whole entire Don Island, people for crying out. It's not just that one side or the other side. We are from that whole entire island because we are from the Empire of Haiti. Article 2 says, slavery is forever abolished. Article 2, that means on this land that we occupy in, that there is no such thing as slaves. Not physically, not mentally, not economically. It is forever abolished, which means you show up in this island and you are free, which is why we received 50,000 Jews in the way that we did, because it meant when they came to the island, they were free on the land. The third article, and I promise, guys, I'm going to go to the slides that I know we're going to focus on today. Article 3 of the Constitution says this: the citizens of Haiti are brothers at home, no matter where home is. Think about that. The Article 3 says the citizens of Haiti are brothers at home. Equally in the eyes of the law is incontestably acknowledged, and there cannot exist any titles, any advantages, or privileges other than those necessarily resulting from the consideration and reward of service rendered to liberty and independence. Vous entendez ça? Et nous clair sur ça. Ça veut dire que tout moun c'est moun, pas gen tit, pas gen privilège, pas gen qui koto sorti, pas gen c'est moun tigwa ou c'est moun au cap, ça veut dire que côté pam nan pi bon. Ça me dit là. C'est que ça même dans l'éduquer dans telle école, sorti dans tel côté, pi bon, right? So other than anything, nothing of that matters except those resulting from consideration and reward service rendered to liberty and independence, right? And that is it. So guys, when we show up today to have this conversation about the Haitian Revolution and the revolution of the Haitian spirit, the ancestors are speaking to us because this is not new. This is where we've been before. This is about our revival and are moving forward. Yes, we're moving on to the next slide to get us going about what is this conversation about today? What is it that we are focusing? Next, please. I don't have the control of the slide, so please, next one.
I was wondering, did you want to take control of them? Did you want to take the wheel?
I don't know. Go ahead.
I'll take it. Okay.
You got me. Okay, go ahead. Right. So what is it that I want to us to focus on today? So this idea about the Haitian Revolution and the reconnecting with our memories, reconnecting with the land and the spirit. And we think we can do that through education, to these enterprises and the things you see that's happening, and to the experience. The purpose of us today is around exploring that legacy. And what better time for us to do so than right before Bwakaima. Many of us talk about 1804, but Bwakaima in 1791 is central. If we want to talk about revolution and we want to talk about the independence of the nation, we have to go back to 1791. Many of those names did not make their way to 1804. Think about that. 1791, right? Bwakaima. It is our connection to that spiritual political turning point. And I'm so excited that this is the precursor, part one of that Bwakaima event of August 14 that is coming up for us. We need to reconnect to this moment, and we believe to this Haitian preservation work that we are doing, we can do so in three ways, because we're not going back. Many of us may not be able to go and be in Bwakaima itself, but this is an opportunity for us to be culturally connected to education. Man, I hope you're gonna download the song by Dr. Jean and Matt, right? And to kind of get you going. Like we could be listening to Beyonce, the Cowboy song, or you could be listening to, I was like tuning in, right? And so on. Like we have to get into that spirit, right? To the education, we have to get inspired by our heritage, to our products and so forth. Many of you know, I don't show up in places. If I'm gonna go to an event, I am putting on a Haitian designer. I could go to Nordstrom to buy something, or I can get it from my Haitian designer and somebody could say, "Oy, what is that? What is that sort? See, what do you have on? What is that bag? What is that earring? That's good to know where Dr. Blaze's earring. Uweli, bueno, gadel puwe."
Haitian made too.
She shows up with that, people can be like, where is that from? What is that about? Right? And so forth. But it's like her showing up with a piece of herself, with a piece of her culture, with a piece of her heritage as a part of that journey. So when we put on, it's not products for us, right? It's not products for us. It's like our own, who we are and how we're showing up. And we're really hoping to all of this today that we are offering a vision, a vision for this reviving, for reconnecting, for working through some of those pains so that way we can have integrated actions together. So let's go, let's go, let's go. So with that being said, I want to share with you, next slide, please. What does it mean, asking you the question to kind of think out loud with me, what does it mean to have nom Haitien? What does it mean, this idea of a Haitian spirit? When you hear that word, when you reflect a little bit on what we've been doing today, what does that mean to you? Nom. Don't you love Kreyòl? Like, there's no way we've been having these conversations like internally on the team about this idea of spirit, right? When we say Haitian spirit, if I say Haitian spirit or I say nom Haitien, bagay. Okay, how are you going to translate it? I don't care what that means for you in English, but Lord, the nom Haitien, that's a lot of affair, right? For you. So I would love to for you to use the chat and share a little bit about what does that mean for you when we get there. It could be the music, it could be the art, it could be like when you eat that legume sauce, what? Oh la lo, oui, ou entre nan nam ou senti li, nam sa kap la. It's a soul force, right, of this people that has achieved. You can feel it, right? When you live in a namsa, you can feel that force that those people that have achieved so much. You can feel it to the manifestation, to the language, to the music, to the spiritual connection, to our dance, to our ritual, right? You can feel that Haitien is like a part of you. Have you guys ever like been at like a event and then some music come on, like rum comes on, you know, and so on, or the rara comes on, and then you see the people start and you're like, it's like as if you get taken over, right? You're like, oh, get them when di, oh, madame sa ka rel comme ça, gouyade sa comme ça, y'a fait. Gon façon bagay sa tombe, moi docteur Vivian mwen di, oh, konel te gen re comme ça, non? Gado cause, di, oh, it's as if you're like taken over by this like nom Haitien, you know, kivini. And because of that, you can feel it in the laku. You can feel it within the family. You can feel it in the connection. You can see it in the market. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can't help but feel it, just like you guys were experiencing that today, because nom Haitien was here. It's here. It's in this chat. Even though we're all virtually, you can't help but feel it, right? You know, that it has emerged in such a meaningful way as well. Really, really powerful. Next slide, please. So what is the root of this power that we're talking about, right? So we know through this work here at the Haitian Preservation Framework, we believe there is a simple framework that we can all live here to say, how are we going to continue to have this nom Haitien, right? How are we going to continue this revolutionary stuff so that it wasn't just a moment that we spent together on August 9th for a couple hours, but it is going to be something that's going to live with me, that's going to be a part of what I do all the time, right? So memory is important. And so we believe, you think about like mémoire, terre, l'esprit. Songez trois bagay sa yo. Mémoire, terre, l'esprit, right? So like, what is the memories that I have? What are the stories that I want to go back and hear grand-mwen ki pral di, maman ki pral di, frère yo ki pral di? Because there's a way that we get disconnected to who we are through trauma, because that's what trauma does. Disconnect us from our stories, right? And when we get disconnected from that, then we have a lost sense of ourselves. So part of that healing process that Matt was talking about, part of that process that Matt is showing to the videos is, how do I go back and be reconnected to the memories and work with my parents and grandparents to be reconnected to some of the stories, the truth, and so on. And we know that the stories that are there, imagine Chita en ba bouche grand moun yo, ma tantou yo, tant de histoire yo ki jan yo te leve, Okay, Akaye, Port-au-Prince, kote yo sorti la go nav, right, you know, for liberté. Like, listen to their stories, because by virtue of doing that, It is a part of that revolutionary spirit that nam Haitien ko wap leve, that you are, reviving, which is really is important. I cannot stress for you how important it is the te is. Gun used to say, te Haiti bo tout so bezwen, toujours, faithfully. Ou plante banan li bo banan, ou plante patat li bo patat, ou plante li bo, n'importe so plante nan terre li ba ou. It is literally the land that just keeps on giving you. And there is something magical that happens when you are touching the soil, when you are touching the land. So I go home every month for the last 32 years. I am home every month. And you can ask my team, if I don't go, I start to feel anxious in the United States. Like things start to bother me. I get annoyed. I'm like, it's time for me to go home. Like if it's been like less than 3 weeks or something like that, I'm like, it's time. So when Gloria says I'm going home next, I'm home next week. I'll be in the South, okay? I saw some of our friends who are in the South. I'll be in the South, by next week, because it's time for me to be home, right? As well. So there's something about that sacredness that focuses on the opportunity for you to be connected, not just to the land, mais l'aimerait dire jiko sol la pa même l'autre bord que l'autre Lakay yo. Juste series là. I have a sister of my sister even who's like goes to Haiti and she boy juste series là. When she comes back, she tries to imitate that same juice, and she keeps buying cherries after cherries after cherries after cherries. Every time we do that, she's been doing that eating for me, like since she was young, and she's in her 40s. I was like, Chérie, ou pas jamais joindre même series ça. Pour boire jus ça, to drink this juice, you're gonna have to go home. You're gonna have to go back home for you to be able to have it. There's something to be said. If you've ever had fresh eggs in Haiti, fresh eggs. Yo fait klage li, pou le fait klage zya e pou pran matin pou manger li, pas même bagay. There's something also about that connected, all of that, the food, the stepping in, the seeing the beach and the seeing the trees, and all of that is around the land. And then the third part is the Lespri, right? It's the spiritual connection, right? That one get to do that, whether or not it's to our a spiritual connection to Vodou or to the art collection. I start the members of the team. I have a collection of art. People like, she just has a museum. I have a collection of art because it is my connection to the spiritual side of who I am. Every corner I turn in my house and I dump my eyes somewhere, it brings me home. It's as simple as that, right? So the art is a way for me to be connected to and continually to be connected to that spiritual component, which is really, really important for me as well. So we hope that this framework is going to serve as a good starting point for you to say, what memory am I pulling in today? What stories do I want to be able to know beyond what is given to me, right? I want to think about the idea of being in Haiti, but maybe I can't today, but I'm going to eat some food today, right? And that's going to be another way to be connected to it as well, from a spiritual perspective as well. So with that, I want to invite you guys to the Wakayima moment, which is the next slide, because it is this spiritual blueprint that we've all been asking for. People say, we need to have a plan for Haiti. I'm like, listen, Sherry, nous pas besoin de plan pour Haïti, nous déjà gagné une constitution qui déjà bien détaillé plan pour pays. We already have a constitution that laid that out exactly how it should be, right? All people say, we need to figure out a way to come together and how Haitians need to come together. Am I the only one who hear that? Don't you hear that too? People say, oh, we have to come together. We have to figure out a way to come together and so forth. I said, we already knew how to come together. We called it Wakayima, right? Like when people came together under the woods, in the open field, not in a conference room, not in a boardroom, not in the thing with a bunch of chairs. They weren't dressed up in some, suits and tie and all of that. They sat outside under the pied bois, right? And begin to plan and connect with each other, in a meaningful way, right? And we know how to do that right? So August 14, 1791 is that moment. We do not have an independence of a nation if August 14, 1791 didn't occur. It should be a part of your calendar. It should be, you should have that date on your calendar like it is on mine annually to know August 14 should be a day I said to myself, what am I doing? Am I coming together today? Right? What does that look like? Because it's not on our calendar that's been given to us by the white man, right? So it means we have to put on our own calendar of these particular events because it's an opportunity to be aligned with what was done before. And if a group of people came together on August 14, 1791, it wasn't 100 people, it wasn't 50 people, it wasn't 2,000 people, it wasn't 60-something people, because there's a way we said, oh, we don't have enough people. We need a couple more thousand people in order for the revolution to happen. It was a small group of people who gather and says, no more. So when we say, imagine what a small group of people can do, we have examples of that to this moment, right? To August 14, 1791, with these amazing individuals, some names we know, some names we don't know, right? So Touti, Cécile, c'est ça nous tende, c'est ça yo di nous, c'est ça yo nous joigne, mais te gen l'autre monde que nous pas même connait yo, right? En même temps, right? Their names we don't even know that was significant to that. But what we know is that to that ceremony, to that moment, a group of people said, we've had enough, we are working together, and we will put forth a plan and sacrifice for us, not the people that were only there, but for everyone to be free. For everyone to be free. Not just on the island of Hispaniola, but also throughout the world. People say, well, why do people have issues with Haiti? That's an issue, right? When you have a country that takes on humanity across the globe, ça son l'autre affaire, right? Ça son l'autre affaire tout bon. So that is our, opportunity to be able to do so. So how can we do that? How can we do that now in our modern day way to revive the spirit? What are the opportunities that we have as a collective to get there? To today and every day, we pick a book, we understand, my goodness, I went to the architecture room. We're talking about what is the Haitian architecture design look like before it was given to us? What would that look like if we were to define it ourselves? So cultural relevant education is a pathway for us. These moments that we are spending, hearing each other's story is a pathway towards that. It is a Bwakaima coming together moment, right? In this modern day to say, we will educate ourselves. And when we educate ourselves, we're gonna share it. Many of you who followed my LinkedIn pages know I read 1 or 2 books a month, guys. That is a given for me. 1 or 2 books a month. And it's usually about who I am, because I am on a journey to educate myself about who I am. And every time I learn something, you see me put in, did you know? Right? Did you know? You see them on LinkedIn, I was like, did you know? Because I just learned just very recently that John, que nous tout remè avec du John noir, is only, that type of mushroom is only done in Haiti. Nowhere else can you find that John but in Haiti. And I'm in a meeting with somebody who created a whole botanic company that now has a huge page on Estée Lauder, that they created this cream made of what people? Femme connaît. What did they make it with? John. Anyway, John qui sorti Haiti. So that means that cream cannot function. That company cannot function unless they can go to Ayiti and get some John in order for them to have this cream that they are selling in a little package that's $184 for it. So cultural education is key because there are some things that are happening in the country and things that are there that is unique to Haiti que nous pas connaît. Nous pas valoriser yo, right? And we do, because we don't know them. Parce que moi-même, avec John John, seulement connais pour Diri. Depuis petit, m'pa connais rien de John John. C'est Diri m'a fait avec lui, avec peut-être, oh, m'a fait maï moulin avec John John. M'pa jamais entendu John John qui bon pour crème pour moi. Nous déjà entendu ça? M'pa entendu moi-même. Okay? But somebody figured out that John John is really good and created a whole botanic industry associated with that, right, as well, and making a boatload of money doing so. So the more we get educated about ourselves, this is a pathway, the more we know about who we are, the more we value what we have, right? And the more we want to preserve it and protect it. So the declaration that we read at the beginning is not just words, because we recognize the richness of what we have, and we want to protect it, and we want to preserve it. We want to do that to our products, to our earrings, our bags, our necklaces, our bracelets, our clothes that we put on, the cup of coffee. When I show up in a meeting and I bring in my cup of coffee, I am not buying that lovely water bottle that I see everybody is on for on Amazon that's costing everybody $50. I can't even say the name. But no, même connaît tout millennium yo la connaît ni tout moun gen gros bottle sa yo qui différent couleur, mettez de l'eau là dans li que tout moun ap marché pour yo boire. I want one that says Haitian something. Okay, so when I show up, then I'm gonna show up with my Haitian cup, my Haitian mug, my Haitian this, because it's a reminder to me, it's a reminder to everybody that I am from the land that forces me to be my better self, right, on a regular basis. And lastly, this moment, this opportunity to really think about this journey back home. I really want to invite you guys to really think about coming home. I know part of, Christina and Matt and Webati is working on that stuff we need to work on our mind to get through some of that fear, right? To get through some of the things that we've been told, but that journey is gonna be crucial towards this journey that we wanna focus on today. So I really invite all of you. We had a really amazing colleague of ours who joined us on one of our trip to Ayiti. And he came and Reggie was 48 at the time, came to Ayiti and didn't tell his mom or his sibling que li t'a pralé avec nous. 48 ans, well, again. Okay, 48. He told them all he was going to Florida, and then he hopped on a plane, which he did. He didn't lie about that. Then he hopped on a plane from Florida and went to a COP with us. Got to a COP, was blown away by Cap Haitien, and decided to host his 50th birthday on Ayiti OCAP. Came back 2 years later and hosted his 50th birthday, inviting some people to the country as well. So we know that this process of going back home is hard because, right, your family loves you. It's not like they want you to be in danger, but they're speaking from a place of fear, not from a place of knowledge. So we know that this journey of getting rid of and shedding off some of those things is still there. I'm still in Haiti, mommy. Mom, I'm still really, madame la prele, n'importe sa l'tande dans radio à la dim. They gonna learn. There was a time mommy called me. I was in Tigouave. She's like, Chérie, parle Tigouave, no, don't go now, no, because the bridge fell down. And the bridge fell down, and you're not gonna be able to make it back to Port-au-Prince to come home. So please do not go. As I'm talking to my mommy, I FaceTime her because we were driving to the same bridge she just heard that had collapsed. So that she can see what she heard on the radio about what was happening in Tigouave with this bridge and what the reality was on the ground. And sometimes those two things don't match, right? And so on. It's not, but people love you. Your family loves you. They're coming from a place of love, but they may not be coming from a place of knowledge, right? And so how do you, these trips is a central part of that work for yourself. So really inviting you to be a part of that, to this work. So let's talk a little bit about what I mean by culturally relevant education before they tell me my time is up on this stage right here with you guys. So we're talking about immersing yourself in some of the historical stuff, connecting to some of the language. We are so excited to have, amazing colleagues here like Marlene Julian, who have institutions created to get us connected to the language. We have Kreyòl Pro here. Constant is here, as well, that we've been working with, who are there to help us get connected to the language. I love the fact that Matt is essayer faire for pour dire more. We have to get past that and say, I'm going to force myself to say things, do things, say it in the way it sounds to me. I don't care who laughs, doesn't matter to me. I'm connected to it. So it's the history stuff. Man, if you didn't pick Marlene Dowd's new book on the empire, the king of Haiti, the first and only king of Haiti, man, every time I pull it out the book, Dr. Vivian says that book intimidates me because it's huge. But man, she spent so much time on the history of understanding that king. Who was Christopher, right? That que nous parle de lui, en pile moun pa konnen. So taking the time to learn our history, our language, right? And understand, and recognizing that the curriculum that was given to you, right? And what we've been giving overall was not connected to who we are. That's not the curriculum that we received. I became a psychologist, right? In the time, and I immediately, when I got my doctorate degree, I went back home. And I wanted to focus on liberation of the mind, because I became a psychologist because I understood that the mind was powerful, that in fact, it is the biggest asset that we have. And if you can capture people mentally, you can capture them spiritually, and you can capture it physically. And so I understood that there was a need for me to focus on mind work, right? And when we're talking about liberation and revolution of the mind and so on and so forth, I got home, I quickly recognized that my 7 years of doctoral education needed to put to the side so I can actually go back to school at home and relearn. Tout bagay que ça m'te apprendre dans l'école yo qui pas approprié avec Lakay pam. I had to take the time to stop because I was going around saying, moi vle fon bon formation de anxiété. Maman mwen gade, ma tante mwen gade, mwen di, ki sa anxiété sa ye chéri? Ti anxiété, oui. Ki pa kon anxiété? Tout mwen kon anxiété. Right, I mean, people here doesn't know anxiety. You say anxiété. Ou ap jwen nou moun. Pale avec Christine, Mache, ap di ou jwen nou Haitian, ap di anxiété. Dem ni di chéri, wap pale de kes ou bisket? Kes ou bisket? Ki mwen ki te nan de kes ou bisket? Ou jem ta de kes ou bisket? On the kes ou bisket pour nous parler de anxiété. It took me 5 years to unlearn everything that I had learned about mental space, mental work, mindful stuff, and so on, so I can create a curriculum that is appropriate for our people, by our people, with our people, right? That now forms rebâti santé mentale and so on. So it means that the things that we have learned are not going to be the thing, that we're going to have to recreate something. And for us to recreate things means we have to learn something, right, as well. And so this education, and we know that education says, because nous Haitiens, it's in our blood, it's in your DNA, it's in your spirit, that anything you do, you learn, you share it. This is Mabdullah. Ayiti, when we became free, we didn't say, oh, now we're free, good for us. We say, let us go help Venezuela, Colombia, Greece, and any other place, because when we get something good, we share it. So we know that what you learn, you're going to share it. What you learn today, you're going to share it. You're going to be like, did you know? This is what's going to make this viral, people. We're like, how do we let everybody know? You're going to finish this. 60 people go on, finish all of this today, and they go on their social media and they share it. 63 people become 100 and something people, becomes 1,000 people, becomes 2,000 people, and so forth. And this is how things move, right? So the cultural education piece is one mechanism by which we do that. Let's talk a little bit about the products that we are talking about, right? In terms of these products and culinary and so on. Like, we have to make it's a process for me. I made to my own journey, my continual work, I made a conscious decision that my house was going to be surrounded by Haitian stuff, right? I mean, ask those guys who've been in my house. It's like, if you don't find some Haitian stuff there, So, the moment we feel like I want Haitian déjà ouais, ça. But for going wooden something, I don't care if it's the pilon, okay? The pilon, que tout le monde connaît pilon ça, the wooden pilon, qui là, okay? Que tout le monde connaît, et puis, pas de monde qui utilise le non, on pilon, moun pas utiliser. Gon mette toujours, c'est marre mette toujours, pas comprendre pilon ça. Ou gon pilon la caillou, pas gon monde qui ka utiliser pilon. Me dit non, c'est pour décoration. Lié. Qui qualité ba ça y est, gon pilon ou utiliser pour décorer. It's only decoration, right? But it's a signal because it like when you see that you're like, haïtien qui là. See? So the arts, the craft, and so forth is important. We do goûter pays at Ayiti Community Trust because we recognize our storytelling, our heritage, our culture is grounded in our food, right? So, le moun dou manjon bon lalo, ou commence à dire, qui kote ki lalo, ki kote la ti bonite, lalo grandans lan. Parce que déjà connaît, et puis même bataille là, ok, pas commence dans chat là non, avec ki lalo ki pi bon, right? But you know that our food is our mechanism to tell the story of who we are. We can connect to it, right? Gon bagay ki traverse ou, lo chita avec un maï moulin, oui, Moria, oui, qui vient avec quelques zaboka, pas zaboka Mexique là, non? Si zaboka ça, on pas contre pour raison, il y a les zaboka. Pour moi, même pas contre pour raison, il y a les petits zaboka, ça, les zaboka, parce que nous tous connaissons qui y a zaboka supposé. We all know how avocados are supposed to be. Mais ou chita, bon bagay qui passe, ou. Pour nous, chita avec un bouillon. Ou chita, you sit with the legumes. Have you ever seen that? The person's face literally transformed. You're transformé à travers manger, right? So we know that, right? Those symbolic fashions. I love seeing the jeans family, right? I love seeing them because you never see Matt without something Haitian, okay? Let me just tell you that. Whether or not, like you might see him dress up and then you look in the back of his pocket and then there's the Haitian flag, okay? Or you shows up and then he has like a bandana, he's the Haitian flag. Or here's some of the other, there's the Haitian, like there's something Haitian in him that he's walking around with all the time, right? That you cannot help but recognize that. So there's something to be said about this fashion, the earrings, the this, and so on, that is also a part of that nom haïtien that we are talking about, right, as well, which is so, so important. So I encourage you, I say to people all the time, we do, if you go on our website, you see we did Bien Shelbe Gala. We don't do a Bien Shelbe Gala because we wanted to do a Bien Shelbe Gala. We wanted to remind people that we have Haitian designers that are creating amazing clothes. Jay-Z's designer is Haitian. Brooklyn Circus, Ouija Theodore, who had Gap, whole section of the Gap clothing is a Haitian designer, right? And so on. Like we have amazing, the girl who created Michelle Obama's beautiful green outfit. Remember that walk? First time President Obama, Michelle Green, Haitian designer. We want people to be reminded that we wanted to do Bien Shelbe to let us know that we have designers. You can skip Nordstrom. You can skip Macy's. Hey. Directement. Lakay Panou. Why is that important? When we support our own, when we support the products and the people and the businesses within our own, we are building thriving community. And when we build thriving communities, we build a thriving Ayiti, period, right? And so that's the support. I encourage you to continue to force yourself to pay attention to all of that. Okay, bon fini là, bon fini avant yo presque fini là. The social impact journeys, which is important. It's not about tourism, people. It's not about like having a tourism moment. It's about being connected. When you see Matt and Elisa goes home and they go to Ilarat and they go into Milo and they go into Fort Liberté or they go into the South and Okai and so on. All of that is around healing and learning, healing and learning. It's unshedding some of the things you've been told, the things that have been given to you to say, I'm going to leave them to the side. I remember Sister Natasha. I remember the first time I took some people to the Citadel, you know, like, and what that looks like. And you guys know, some of you know, I've been to the Citadel 212 times. This September, we're going to do the walk to the Citadel. That's my 213th time going to the Citadel. And every single time I feel transformed. I leave there feeling, and I never take ça really boucle, pas boucle, no chevalio, marcher up, marcher down, okay, pour aller, right? But it's an opportunity, I think, for people to see that, in fact, the impossible was buried on November 18th. When we said the impossible was buried, people say, this is not possible. This it is not possible. You go to Citadel, you realize what is possible, right? At the time that the Citadel was born. I remember, so I'm putting Natasha on blast if Natasha's still here, because we went to Bwakaima and Natasha goes, where's the building? I was like, we are in Bwakaima when we showed up in the Laku. She's like, oh, we thought we're going to go to the, I said, no, Sherry, the Bwa, you know, Bwakaima. Right? They're like, oh, I thought it was a building with a ceremony. I was like, no, it's the woods, right, that you sit in the wood that is Lakay Ima, right? And that's why we call it Lakay Ima. So it's all of those things, those Laku experience and so forth, is an opportunity to be connected to the ancestors, to be connected to the stories, and then you get a chance to tell your own stories. How beautiful it is that we get a chance to hear Matt's story, right? Of his experience. But Matt gets a chance to tell that story because he came, because he was there. He didn't get that story because I told him this is how it is. He got the story because he went, you know, for himself and created his own story that he gets to tell his kids, that he got a chance to tell his wife. It is because Matt went with us, you know, and he had his eyes open, went home to his wife and said, you have got to know these people. Oh my goodness, how blessed are we that we have Dr. Lisa Jean as our executive director for Ayiti Community Trust. And that would have never happened if Matt didn't come home with us to Ayiti, right? And so on. So really, really important to be able to take the time to do so. So I invite all of you today, to these moments that we are spending today. Your call to action today is, we know that we are stronger together. We say it, people say l'union fait la force, even though l'union fait la force was not a part of our Haitian flag. It's not our motto, it's not our motto from 1804. But we know the power of what can happen when we come together. We saw that when people said that. Matt said that at the beginning when we started. It said, there's something powerful that happened when we come together as a collective, right? And so we know that the shaping of this revolution, of this nom Haitien, means that we have to activate some things. Not just think it, but we have to activate them things. We have to activate our memories. We have to activate our connection to the land, because that is what is about to sustain the work. You can be activated to your memory, but if you don't have something that's continuing to contain, to sustain it, then it's going to be moments that you have of clarity, right? So you have to activate the memory. You have to sustain those memories and the stories through your connection to the food, to your connection to the land, to your connection, But then you know you have to nourish all of that to how you live every single day and what you choose to have around you, what you choose to be in your space, the music you listen to, the art you get a chance to be exposed to, and so on and so forth. And so we hope that today won't be just an opportunity to just say, I came today, and how great it is that Haitian Preservation and Ayiti Community Trust is doing these great things. But we hope that to this experience today, that your spirit, nampam, right? Comment c'est réveillé. My spirit is with you. and that we will continue to teach each other, teach myself, teach each other. We're going to continue to promote who we are with a level of pride. And then you will join us in our travel, not travel for the fun, but travel for the purpose. And so we invite all of you to stay connected to yourselves, because connected to Haitian preservation has nothing to do with Dr. Lisa Jean or Matt or Dr. Gloria Blaze or us. Staying connected to Haitian preservation is about staying connected to you, to yourself. And by connecting to yourself, then we know that your kids and your grandkids will continue to be connected to not only to you as an ancestor, as a legacy, but they'll be continue to be connected to their great ancestors who are central to who they are right now. So with that, I say merci en pile. Go et merci mano tout. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be with all of you.
Bravo, bravo. Mayo. That was amazing. Merci, Dr. Geda. I hope that, like I mentioned before, Dr. Geda will make you think you can change the world, change Ayiti by just hearing her speak, her story, her vision. And, you know, around me, I don't have that many people that are as committed as Dr. Geda. So it is a gift to truly come across her and be in her network, her circle, and to see how she just spreads that positivity and the vision across everyone. Like she mentioned before, we just need a small number of people. Imagine what you could do with a small group of people, like the Wakaima event that took place, that changed the course of history and the world. So thank you again, Dr. Geda. I'll pass it back to Elisa as we approach the closing of this gathering.
Yes, thank you. So how are we feeling? I want to see in the chat, how are we feeling? How was this session? These sessions for you? We really want to, we saw the engagement throughout the chat, and we really just want to thank our family is here. Is that what's in the room? So we have people to say hi to all of you.
Hi, babies. I see the flag waving. There it is.
Yep, we don't leave without that flag right there. So we really want to invite all of you that if this was something that you really enjoy, this was our first inaugural welcoming Rasanbleman together, and we are doing this with a mission to build a forever fund for Ayiti's rural communities, because we understand that the narrative out there wants to concentrate on what's not going well. But like Dr. G said, when you say Ayiti, it's forcing you to rise. So Ayiti is rising. And so we're inviting you to join us in this partnership as we build this forever fund, this endowment fund, by thinking about the power of a decimal shift and using whatever capacity that you have right now in this moment. And remember, everything is valuable. Like Dr. G said, and like Matt said, and everyone else who was on this call, we know it's more than money, right? It's more than just that piece, but it's about that muscle of us practicing and putting into our space, into our eyesight, into our visual, our symbolic vision board, right, all around us, this power, this transformative shift that we can make to Ayiti. So we are welcoming you and offering you a chance to contribute to the Haitian Preservation Fundraiser for Ayiti Community Trust. All the proceeds go to support the mission of Ayiti Community Trust, which is to create a sustainable source of funding for Haitian-led communities in the areas of civic education, environment, and entrepreneurship. And so we are inviting you, please just scan the QR code and make a contribution today in any of the amount that you see fit. We would really, really appreciate your support. So now we're gonna see you soon. Like I said before, this is the part one or day one, and part two, which is our Byenveni ceremony, is going to be done with Brother Lou, who is a part of Just Breathe University. We're going to have a way for us to breathe and connect to ourselves. And then we also have with us the wonderful, oh my goodness, Byenveni Bello, who is going to share with us words of wisdom for us to get to know ourselves. So we invite you to Wakaima. Also, if you really enjoyed this session, your voice and your experience is important to us. So we would love your feedback. Of course, we'll send an email, a follow-up email with this link. But while it's fresh on your mind, while you've participated in this moment, we ask you to just scan the code, give us your feedback, let us know if this is something that you really enjoyed, if you would like to see more of, if there's anything that we have, in our wheel, because we're a lot of creatives, right? We have a lot of educators and creators, content creators in Haitian preservation, along with the adventure therapy and the birthright trips that we are going to be curating. So your feedback, knowing what is like top of mind for our community. Like I said, our promise to you is to provide digestible knowledge, right? Digestible knowledge, a way and a space to feel and healing, and also an opportunity for you to go back home. So your feedback, again, is going to be everything in helping us to create experiences and create content that is relevant to us. So we'll make sure that you have that. And then lastly, we're going to end with this blessing. We ended a little early, so we can give you some time back of your day. But I know you enjoyed being here in this space. So again, I'm going to ask everyone to unmic, and we are going to say our declaration together. All right? So you can unmic with all of us. I want the noise. We want to hear it. We want to hear all the ayibobos, all the voice, because your voice is important. So, Anunziasan, we are one people,
one
nation,
nation, united to protect our land,
Preserve our legacy,
build a
build a prosperous future for
Haiti.
Haiti.
Nous sayons
Une seule paix,
Nation, unis pour protéger terre nous, préserver l'héritage nous, et bâtir un prospère pour Haïti.
That's it. The Haitian Revolution.
We want to just give a shout out. Let me just give a shout out, please, to Amber. Amber's here. So central in the back, like this is such amazing team, and she's done an amazing work on the background to make sure the slides are working, that this is working, everything, and everything you see here is an Amber creation.
Yeah.
And just want to say thank you to her and the entire team for all of the work that went on putting all of this together as well. So Amber, girl, Amber, thank you.
Yes.
Welcome. It's been a pleasure. This is beautiful.
Yes. Thank you. I just sent the link for this August 14th Wakaima gathering with Professor Byenveni Bello and Brother Lou in the chat. So we'll see you there if you can make it, but looking forward to just continuing the engagement. Again, I like seeing all the positivity and hope around me. Ayiti is rising, and we are going to get that. But we're going to get done. Thank you, everyone. But I don't have the last word, though. Someone else say the last word, please. Too much pressure.
Maybe there's somebody else who's here, who's still with us, may have an inspiration thought and something they want to also share. It doesn't have to be us because this space belongs to all of us, right? Yes. As well. So maybe somebody who's here, wanted to, because we also wanted to create space for that as well, so that all of you can get a chance to open your mic and say something that you want to say as well about today for yourself. So I see Joelle's, and I see those hands up, raise those up, because it's your space, right? It's your space as well.
Yeah, I see Sandra's hand up.
Yeah.
Sandra.
Yeah. You're on mute, yeah.
Sandra, you're muted.
Ekounia.
Oui, bon.
Non, moi, je te dire que tellement d'accord à ça, Dr. Nicolas dit, parce que je trouve que l'organe des bagailles qui sont à Haïti tout autour de vous, c'est comme si il montait énergie l'âme haïtien. Gon ban de bagay tout qui saute Haïti.
Bel bagay.
Non seulement ça, gon ban feuille, Marine toujours demandé, c'est allemand. Qui fait ça yo? Ou pas gen feuille mangue, ou pas gen feuille au sol pour faire infusion. Donc c'est ça qui me connecter, tout carrément rempli tout avec Baye Haïti. Nous voyons que son bail qui vraiment li soulever énergie.
Beautiful. Thanks for showing us, giving us a glimpse of your home and showing us that as well. Thanks so much, Sandra.
Beautiful.
Evelyn, oui.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Merci pour zami ça qui te voyé link là pour moi que me pas connaît. Et Dr. Nicolas, merci. Me senti mon fire. Quand on s'est dit mal coup, me senti mon fire et c'est ça nous besoin spécialement ces derniers jours que nous gain du feu en la rue mais du feu à couvrir accent. Nous besoin de monde avec la et pour vanter du feu pour nous gain passion ça, passion 1791 ans. Passion nous toujours gagné malgré tout bah nous tout camper ensemble. C'est pas unité qui pas gagné, c'est de éclaireur de conscience qui pour là tant que docteur Nicolas tant que nous tout qui parler là, c'est nous qui pour là pour nous mettre voix nous ensemble pour voir nous arriver plus loin pour l'autre attendre. Merci encore pour session ça. Merci et m'attend avec impatience l'autre. Merci tout le monde.
Let me just say very quickly, Evelyn Alexander is a pillar in our community. This is a woman who created the only 509 autism. It's 509 autism. If people don't know it, for our children in the community who are dealing with autism, she created 509 autism. It's been an amazing organization that's doing phenomenal work. Goodness, and so super excited that you are here, Evelyn, and continuing the work that you are doing. This is really what this is about. Is that Rasanbleman. Because we want to make sure that Evelyn knows that the work that she's doing, she's not alone in doing so, right? And 509 autism is all of us. You know, it belongs to all of us. The children who have autism belong to all of us. And we have a responsibility to do the work that we need to do for all of them. So just incredibly inspired by you, Evelyn, for all the work that you do.
Thank you.
Merci. Fadia Jean-Pierre. And do you have a question too, Anne? I see you unmuted. You probably go after Fadia.
Yes. Hello, okay. Yes, c'est Fadia. Moi, bien content que nous faisons événement ça aujourd'hui parce que c'est vraiment important pour nous gagner communauté ça, pour nous apprendre. Especially, moi-même qui fait PhD, moi, focus ça travail avec Caribbean Black women. So, pour nous joindre une communauté que moi, apprendre, pour nous connaître quelle direction pour nous aller. So, événement ça, c'est vraiment important pour nous tous qui là. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you, Fadia. Merci en pile, and keep going on that program. Maybe not fait bagay yo Mache. Merci en pile.
Et toute musique yo moi gen moun ka pose question côté musique ça yo sorti you know how talented, do you see how talented that this genius family is? They are beautiful, smart, and musical. I mean, it's like every time I hear them I was like, you got to be kidding. So there's a whole playlist of all the songs from today. You can click on the link. I know somebody just sent the message. You can find all the music, their music, and all the other music that was played today. You can find them. So
So we want to give a special shout out to all of our vendors, our architects, Berwick, Marlene, Tessa, all of our Kreyòl professionals. Thank you, Ricardo, Tawana, and all of our ACT ambassadors, all of our ACT board members, everyone who took the time to be here today. Christina, thank you. You are our heart, you are our community. We are so grateful that you chose to spend these moments with us. We will see you. Stay connected. Sign up for the newsletter because that's how you'll be able, our mailing list, that's how you'll be able to know. We do have programming coming up for now until the rest of the year. So just follow us on Haitian Preservation on IG, sign up for the newsletter, and you'll stay in touch. So a blessing to all of you. Have a wonderful weekend.
I don't know, Joel, sorry, I saw your mic off. Our board vice chair is here from Ayiti Community Trust. She's been here the whole time, so I just want to acknowledge her. Dr. Natasha.
No, I think it's been a wonderful program. I'm ecstatic to hear some of you I know, Elisa, I know Gerda, I know very well, but every time Gerda comes out and speaks, there's so much more that I learn about her, and it is fascinating. Gloria, you're, speaking to us about your path. I think that's been wonderful too. It's amazing. I think it helps us all kind of get this feeling of belonging all together. We all have had different paths. Myself, I left Haiti when I was 15 years old, but parler créole toujours, oui. Mais papa apprend parler créole, papa apprend écrire créole sous Duolingo. So I just kind of put that in the chat. So anybody who wants to know a little bit more Creole, Duolingo is a perfect place to find it. Anyway, it's been wonderful. I'm very, very happy that we've heard a little bit about Ayiti Community Trust. To all of you who have not been part of Ayiti Community Trust, I hope that that's been very inspirational for you of the kind of work that we do. So thank you very, very much for being there with us.
Merci Joël. Merci tout le monde. Rasanbleman fini, and we're gonna go enjoy our Saturdays. I'm gonna go run because I feel great about what happened. So, merci tout le monde.
Turn the music up, let's dance!
Jump in, let's jump in.
Here comes the solo, it's coming, I think, no? Seven.
Girls, come say hi on mommy's camera. Say hi, go say. Mia.
Okay, tout le monde. Oh, look at that flag. Okay. Well, merci tout le monde. I hope the DJing was nice. There's more to come, but I could probably say. But merci tout le monde. And Dr. Lisa would dit que the recording will be available on the HP site for purchase, as you mentioned. So we'll send a follow-up because so much knowledge and resources were shared today. And of course, you'll be able to support HP and the endowment by way of that as well. So everyone have a great rest of your Saturday. Now, as soon, August 14th, to Kavini, no, à 7h du soir, pour Guacaima. All right, bye.
Bye.
Enjoy.